The Time Mage's strong new game. I returned to the past to rewrite it as the world's strongest. Chapter 42, Magic Training. I'll teach you magic. Ah, really? I scratch my head while I accept it, and Elle's face shines. Well, she's just going to keep training by herself anyway. If she's going to train, she should do it the safe way, using magic theory from the future. And so, here we go. Fire. I pick Elle up and put her on my lap. Nihat. Well, it's easier to support your magic energy control like this. Ah, really? It's more efficient if an expert assists and corrects her magic energy control first. Having that said, even in the future, there weren't that many mages that could assist someone in controlling their magic energy. I'm not too heavy, am I? It's fine. You're actually too light. Gee, good. All right. First, you need to remember the correct way to make magic energy flow. Why yes. I reach over from behind and put my hand on her midsection. I make the magic energy inside her body circulate for a while and get a good grasp on the shape of her magic circuits. Now I'll have her feel the most adequate way for magic energy to flow through her magic circuits. It prickles. Yes, that's because I'm interfering with the flow of your magic energy. That's possible. It is. But I doubt anyone else can do it. This is the external magic energy control I came up with in my previous life. It's a high-caliber technique, where I create something like a difference of atmospheric pressure with magic energy, and control the flow of magic energy in the air in different things. I can also use this to control the flow of magic energy in other people. Of course, I have to be very delicate and precise when I use this on a person, unless I'm trying to destroy their magic circuits. What? It feels different. Yes, start by remembering this feeling on your body. Why yes. Elle looks restless for some reason. Her body is completely stiff and tense too. Are you alright? Does it hurt? Hiya. Don't whisper in my ear all of a sudden. Sorry, did it tickle? At least there doesn't seem to be anything wrong. Well then, relax a bit more so I can stabilize the flow of magic energy. I can't. I sense the smell of a romantic comedy coming from back the Nyan. I keep circulating Elle's magic energy around her body for a while longer. Next, formulating techniques. I say, and several magic circuits are formulated through Elle's hand. Phew, something came out of my hand. Yes, I formulated magic circles through your hand. Why, you can do that? And there are so many. You can easily do this too if you train a little. See, can I? I pull back the magic circles that appeared, and formulate them again. When you formulate a magic circle, you faintly draw the groundwork like this and then supply magic energy to it. It's like how when you draw, you start with a rough sketch, and don't start coloring right from the start. If you start by laying the groundwork, making magic energy flow on top of it should be easy. Is it really alright to not use a lot of magic energy? When I think of mages, I picture them going whoosh and releasing a ton of magic energy. That's just wasting magic energy. People in this era still think that the amount of magic energy released equals power. The mages I fought a week ago also released magic energy from their bodies like they were showing off. From the point of view of someone from the future, it's like they were trying to show how bad they were at controlling magic energy. I was taken aback at first. People in this era. No, everyone uses too much magic energy. You need to be delicate with magic. The magic energy control of this era's mages is way too rough. It's like they want to draw a complete magic circle right from the start with one huge stroke of the brush. But there you go. That's basically how to control magic energy. Now you try it on your own. Yes. Elle nods, looking a little unsure, and starts controlling her magic energy. First the groundwork, then supply magic energy. Elle is trying to copy what I did but can't seem to do it. A soft streak of light appears, but disperses very quickly. I can't do it. It's fine if you can't do it right away. You're too used to using an invocation item to control magic energy. But it's impossible to use magic without an invocation item. Forget about that strange general knowledge. You should be able to do it without an invocation item soon. In fact, I look at the feathers of light floating around Elle. When people release magic energy, it takes different forms depending on the person. Labries, for example, releases cherry blossom-colored petals, and L feathers of light. Giving your magic energy shape like that is like a kind of magic used without an invocation item. Really? Giving shape to one's magic energy is a type of primitive magic that uses the magic circuits themselves as a formula. In many cases, magic energy having a specific shape is a sign of talent. Unlike me, who just discharges magic energy like it's electricity, Elle and Labrys are talented even when I look at them through the lenses of the standards of the future. And the proof of that is, first the groundwork, then supply magic energy. I think I did it. A magic circle has already appeared above her hand. Your way of doing it is great, Chrom. You already did it? Elle is the one who's great, not me. It took me years to get to this stage. That's probably just down to how untalented I am. She really is a hero's vessel. Hero Eluna Moonheart, the girl who was destined since birth to take down the Demon King. She died all too quickly the first time around, but she should be immensely more talented than someone like me. How strong will she become if I keep teaching her? It's honestly a bit scary. Am I going to use level 6 magic someday? No. I'd say you'll be able to use level 9 magic pretty soon. 9? That'd make me one of the best in the whole world. But what's important isn't levels, it's how you use magic. People in this era think that the higher the level of the spells they use, the stronger they are. That's probably why all the mages I fought a week ago ran up to me and used the highest level spells they could. The whole idea of magic levels was created so people could adjust the power and speed of their spells depending on the situation. You can't just use high-level spells, you have to start by mastering the lower-level spells. My haste is divided into levels too, but that's also to adjust the acceleration based on the situation and time. I can't just accelerate to the highest speed and be done with it. By the way, how high can you go, Chrom? I guess 12. It's not like I can't go higher than that, but it's not practical. The human body has a limit to how much you can push it with spells that strengthen the body like haste. Elle's eyes are looking kind of distant before I know it. What's wrong? I just feel like this is also different from what I've been learning. It makes me wonder why I've even been trying all this time. It's not like it was all for nothing. Her effort has kind of been a detriment, but I don't think I can say that. Anyway, let's try to master controlling magic energy first. Yes. Elle fires herself up again and lightly clenches her fists. We keep training for a while, until, Nyan, the wagon goes over the small hill, and the driver's, Nekoko's, ears twitch. Cat Scythe's senses are sharp. I notice it soon after, and lean over to the driver's seat. Nekoko, brake. I know Nyan. Nekoko pulls the reins and suddenly brakes. What happened? Asks Elle while shrieking. She's the only one who still doesn't know what's going on. Nekoko answers, with urgency. Monsters Nyan. Join my party on to support me and read ahead. Chapter 43. An unnatural attack. Just as we're about to reach the capital, monsters Nyan, yells Nekoko. I guess we didn't see them because it was on the other side of the hill. In the grassy field in front of us, a large mass of shadows that looks like a black stain starts moving. This fields is near the capital, and since there isn't any water being diverted here for agricultural use, it's become a grazing field. The monsters are probably after the livestock left here to graze. Are those Chimera? I recognize those peculiar silhouettes even from a distance. A fire-breathing lion's head, eagle wings that allow them to soar through the skies, a snake's tail with a deadly poison. They are man-made monsters, built with the strongest parts of various monsters. Are those the same as the ones the mages had under their control a week ago in Ulmana's underground dungeon? After the dungeon collapsed, I started quietly taking down the monsters that came out of it, but I guess I missed some. Why are those dangerous monsters here, Nyan? We got to run, Nyan. No, it's too late for that. The Chimera have already set their eyes on us, and are running this way. Normally, big carnivorous monsters don't go around in groups like these, so they don't have to share their prey, but they're being well led. We have about 10 seconds before they make contact. It won't be a problem if we have that much time. You might as well show us the results of your training. Why yes, got it. Elle nods. and her magic energy becomes feathers of light that flutter around her. And then, a majestic bow and arrow of light appear in her hands. Here it goes. Triple flash, flash bullet 3. The arrows of light are fired into the sky, and form shining streaks as they turn into shooting stars. The arrows reach the Chimera right in front of their eyes, and they flash as they burst. The Chimera flinch and stop dead in their tracks. L takes advantage of this opening to formulate another magic circle. Then, fourth sanctuary, protective sanctuary 4. This time, a big magic circle shines below the wagon, before becoming a wall of light that repels the monsters trying to jump at us. Yes, I used magic without an invocation item. Nice going, L. Your training's showing results already. Tilda. I pat L's head, and she smiles broadly. Maybe now I'll be helpful to you. Yes, this is not the time to be flirting, Nyan. Even with a barrier, we have nowhere to go, Nyan. It's only a matter of time until they get us, Nyan. Elle smiles in front of Nekoko as she panics. It's alright, Nekoko. And Nyan. Don't forget, Chrom is here, says Elle as I jump down from the wagon. See Chrom, Nyan. What are you doing, Nyan? I hear Nekoko's screams behind me as I silently draw my sword and step outside the barrier. I'm sure I must look like a stupid prey, as the Chimera watch me exit the barrier without resistance. Their eyes seem filled with gluttony as they look at me. I guess I don't have to worry about what's behind me, since we have this barrier. Elle's specialty is light magic, which rules over things like flashes, sanctuaries, regeneration, etc. Basically, it's not made to be used offensively, meaning, now's my turn. Haste, 7th speed. I chant, and the world stops. The petals falling from the cart, the monsters jumping towards me. Everything floats slowly in the air. Only I can walk at my normal speed through this world. Overwhelming speed. It's one of the strengths of time magic. Being faster doesn't increase offensive or defensive power, but no one can keep up with my speed. I kick the ground, and release acceleration. I sheathe my sword, and the world goes back to its normal speed. What are you doing, Nyan? That's too dangerous, Nyan. Come back, Nyan. I hear Nekoko's panicked voice behind me, but I answer with a smile. No, it's all right. I turn my back to the Chimera. It's done. The next moment, blood sprays out of the Chimera as they collapse. Nyan? Nekoko is dumbfounded. I don't really want people to know about time magic, but I guess I can pass off acceleration as just a physical strengthening spell. I go back to the cart, and Elle rushes towards me. Chrom, are you alright? Yes, that much is no problem. Those monsters. That much. Nyan. Nekoko's mouth opens and closes as she struggles to get the words out. I think she has a question in mind, but can't quite put it into words. See Chrom. What are you, Nyan? Elle's childhood friend. The childhood friend I'm so proud of. There's something weird about you two, Nyan. She's not wrong. Originally, I should just be the childhood friend of a hero, just a supporting character in the tale of the hero Eluna. Foo fun. Do you get how great Chrom is now? Nekoko. Nyan. I've never seen someone who betrays their own smell like this, Nyan. Nekoko says while shrugging. By the way, what about those monster corpses, Nyan? I smell some really high quality materials, the Nyan. That makes sense. They were selectively bred by the Sorcerer Association. In my previous life, I was a part of the Sorcerer Association too. So there were times when I also used Chimera. They're not just strong fighters, they were made to have good materials for experiments too. They should be good to eat as well. You can take them if you want. Free of charge, Nyan. Sure. It's unhygienic to just leave them anyway, and it would bother other people. If you can leave the road clean, go ahead. You're a god, Nyan. Nekoko's tail wiggles. Afterwards, we help her load the materials into the cart. Triple Purification 3. Elle takes the opportunity to practice using magic by using her purification magic to remove the smell and dirt. As for the parts of the Chimera we don't take with us, Nekoko's giant cat gobbles them up. Nyan. This is going to bring lots of money, Nyan. Thank you, Chrom. Nyan. Nekoko says as she looks at the clean road and wipes sweat off her brow. I'm just glad she's happy, but What's wrong, Chrom? Nothing. I evade the question while looking at the chimera corpses. That attack didn't feel natural. I realized this as we took them apart. Their stomachs were empty. That means they didn't attack the grazing livestock. And yet, they ran right towards us as soon as they saw us. It's like they were instructed to do so. Also, these aren't the same chimera that were in the dungeon. It makes sense. Those chimera were guarding the dungeon's narrow pathways. These ones didn't have the necessary maneuverability, and their wings would just get in the way. Then where did they come from? No, that should be pretty obvious. I look at what's in front of me. The streets of the royal capital, and one thing stands out as being taller than the surrounding buildings. The Tower of the Sorcerer Association. If someone is using a long-distance sight spell, they should be able to see what's going on here from the tower. If that's the case, are they after me? I've been crushing their plots ever since I came back to the past. Destroying their underground base in particular must have drawn a lot of attention. Was this attack to make sure I was the one who defeated those mages? If so, they succeeded, and the real attack should start now. Fluffy tilde. Not the base of the tail, Nyan. That costs money, Nyan. I peek over at Nekoko and El, who are peacefully playing around. I don't want to let anything hang a cloud over those smiles. I need to focus. I clench my fists as the royal capital inn stands before us. Join my Patreon to support me. Chapter 44. The Royal Capital Inn. We've been shaking in Nekoko's cart for about 4 hours. It's been a pleasant journey, but after traveling 20 kilometers west, we're here. It's just past noon, and we've arrived in the Royal Capital Inn. Are these chimera? You killed them for us? The guards at the gate sound excited as they inspect the cargo. It sounds like these chimera have been causing trouble around here. Nyan. Chrom here took them down, Nyan. They've been causing a lot of trouble recently. They weren't just strong, they were intelligent too, so we couldn't catch them. You've really helped us. Now the townspeople can sleep easy. The guards bow after they see the chimera's materials. And then, after paying an entrance tax, we finish the inspection. It's the capital. El steps on the stone-paved street with a traveling suitcase in hand. It's the capital, Chrom. We're in the capital. I know. Elle's eyes shine as she sees the town in front of us. She's like a country bumpkin, but then again, Almana being close to the capital doesn't mean she's had a lot of chances to come here. Thank you for waiting, Nyan. Nekoko comes in after us with her giant cat. After her cargo is done being inspected, we've arrived safely thanks to you, Nyan. You helped me a lot free of charge, Nyan. I'll definitely repay this with the service fee, Nyan. Are you charging? It will connect you to your next business opportunity, Nyan. She's pretty stubborn, but that's to be expected from a race that was still doing business in that ruined future. Give me your hand. Nekoko suddenly starts rubbing the palm of my hand on her face. What are you doing, Nekoko? As a special deal, I attached my smell to him free of charge, Nyan. That way, you will get a VIP treatment from Cat Scythe all around the world for 1 month, Nyan. Like a Cat Scythe divine protection? By the way, the monthly fee will be 100 silver coins starting next month. The yearly premium divine protection package is a good deal, Nyan. Even that costs money. Money is God, Nyan. Money is healthy, Nyan. I don't really sense her smell on me or anything. I kind of smell something that reminds me of a cat basking in the sun, but Elle starts smelling the palm of my hand and tilts her head. It doesn't smell that much. Can you tell? Cats can tell. Cats see the world through smell, Nyan. But wait, does that mean that if a cat scythe doesn't like you, all the cats in the world will hate you? Now you fufu, cats don't forget debts or grudges, Nyan. Scary. Anyway, if you ever need a cat to give you a hand, come to the Cat Scythe Guild, Nyan, or come anyway even if you don't, Nyan. We'll give you a warm welcome free of charge, Nyan. She's really taken to you, Chrom. I guess. I'm kind of perplexed, because I didn't expect her to start pushing me like this all of a sudden. Does she see me as a valuable personal connection as a merchant? Oh well, you can never have too many friends. And a merchant might be able to help me get weapons and equipment. Not to mention that Nekoko's information network and sense of smell might come in handy. In that case, I already have a request for you, Nyan. I lean forward and talk into Nekoko's ear. Well, it's not like I can't do that, Nyan. But why, Nyan? There's just a little something. Are you an agent of darkness or something, Nyan? Don't do anything too dangerous, Nyan. Don't worry, Miss Eleni, Nyan. I'll be careful about that. What are you two talking about? Nothing. I smile like it's nothing. Well then, I have some business with the guild, so I'll be leaving now, Nyan. Thank you. Nyan tilde. Nyan, El and Nekoko Nyan at each other to say goodbye. I guess. I really feel like they get along very well. Should we go to the Scarlet Mansion right away? Yes. And so, we start walking. We're here in the capital because Labrie's family invited us to the Scarlet Mansion, which is in the central zone of the capital. We'll need to walk for a while from here. That means we get to do a lot of sightseeing. The town market is right next to the entrance to the capital. Probably to make it easier to unload cargo. There are stalls and cafe terraces all over the main street. The last signs of winter are fading as we enter the warm season, so there are a lot of people out here. Come check out this stall too. Wait, you'll get lost. Elle is still full of energy. You'd think traveling would make her tired, since she's not used to it. You are cute. Where is she from? I feel like I'm being energized just by looking at her. I suddenly notice a lot of eyes focused on Elle. It's easy to forget, since she's always with me. But she has a strange charm that attracts people. She shines like a sunny spot in spring. Particles of light lightly fall from her light blonde hair as she walks. People's eyes follow her as though they were fascinated by that light. New tilde. There's so much tasty stuff in the capital tilde exclamation mark, says Elle, while eating a crepe she bought from a stall and placing her hand on her cheek. Everyone around her gulps as they see this. Wow, she makes it look so tasty. Cute. Maybe I'll have some too. I really feel like having a crepe. Hey mom, I'll have a crepe too. People rush the crepe stand, and a line quickly forms in front of it. Oh, it's really busy all of a sudden. It sure is. It's really good. It's a good thing we just happened to get here when it was empty. The owners of the other stalls watched this course of events unfold with their mouths hanging open. Hey lady, how about one of our ham sandwiches? You can have one of our capital steamed buns for free. Don't barge in. I asked first. Everyone fiercely charges at Elle all at once. Thank you tilde. He tilde. People are so nice here in the capital tilde. It's unbelievable. She's not even using magic. It looks like Elle's idol aura works outside of her hometown too. People keep handing food to Elle one after the other, like they're setting bait. Elle holds it all in her arms, and looks very satisfied with her cheeks swelling. Ish good? Ish shown to him. No, I'm fine. You're the one who got it. Who? No one wants to see me eat. Besides. I look around through the corners of my eyes. Most people are looking this way with friendly eyes, but among them, two pairs don't look so friendly. Elle, wait. I suddenly grab her hand, and her shoulders flinch. What is it, Crom? There's an ice cream stand over there. Don't you want to try it? There it is. Elle looks to where I'm pointing, guided by her gluttony. We can't miss out on having some ice cream here in the capital. I'll go get it. Elle runs towards the ice cream stand. She's so quick to take the bait when something looks fun. And she's easy to understand. Well then. Now that Elle's attention is on the stand, I turn around, and place my hand on the shoulder of the man approaching me from the back. Time, advance. With those words, the wave of people walking around stops. Only I and the man approaching me are moving normally. He looks bewildered, probably because he doesn't get what's going on. What? Why did people stop? I just made some changes to the environment because there's something I want to ask you. In the capital, people can see or hear you no matter where you go. It's hard to look for a space where no one can see us. So it's best to just move inside a time when no one can see us even if they look at us. The man suddenly tries to get some distance from me. Time. Stop. I can't move. I stop the time of the man's clothes, rendering him unable to move. Now it's easier for us to talk. What is this magic? And the town? What happened to it? The man panics. At a glance, he just looks like a regular passerby, But, who are you? You were after us, weren't you? I whisper into his ear. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 45, Assassin. I place my hand on the shoulder of the man approaching me, as I pass by him. Time, advance. With those words, the wave of people walking around stops. Only I and the man approaching me are moving normally. He looks bewildered. Probably because he doesn't get what's going on. I stop the time of the man's clothes, rendering him unable to move, and ask, who are you? You were after us, weren't you? The man's eyes open wide. You've been watching us this whole time while hiding. Your way of concealing magic energy is too obvious. I don't know what. Then let's change the question. You're from the Sorcerer Association, aren't you? Did you set the chimera on us? The man tries to play it cool, but I'm touching him, so I can tell your magic energy was clearly upset just now. That reaction. You really are from the Sorcerer Association. Wow. I guess he ditched things that would draw attention like his robes so he could watch us. But the flow of his magic energy tells me he is clearly not an amateur. Who told you to attack me? Who knows? I have no idea what you. Sorry, but I really hate wasting time. I manipulate his magic energy through the shoulder I'm touching. Gar. Magic energy spews and foams from his entire body. Did you mess with the flow of my magic energy? Yes, and by the way, do you know what will happen if your magic energy keeps running wild like this? The method is the same as when I taught Elle to control her magic energy. By using external magic energy manipulation, I'm making the magic energy in his body run wild, and if his magic circuits break because of this, he'll be unable to use any magic. I can only use this on people who have already been rendered powerless, since I have to make them hold still while I touch them for a while. But it's useful as a threat. Alright, I'll talk. He gives up and starts talking. It's too late for you anyway. The 12 sages already have their eyes on you. Apparently you managed to take down first-class mages, but you have no idea how terrifying the 12 sages are. Actually, I stood on top of the 12 sages in my previous life. Just say it. Fine. Listen. I was given instructions by one of the 12 sages, none other than. The man suddenly stops. Which one? What? I can't remember. What do you mean? If you don't answer quickly, your body won't be able to use magic ever again. No, I really can't remember. Honest. I don't get it. Why did I attack you? I can't remember. The man starts hyperventilating and scratching his head. I don't think he's playing dumb. His fear and anxiety is transmitted through the unrest in the magic energy in his body. It looks like he really did forget who gave those orders, or more likely, someone made him forget. Memory manipulation. Those words appear in the back of my mind. That member of the 12 sages really is here in the capital. I know. I remember. I had to attack you. Because I had to attack you. I decided to. I have those memories in here. Hey, calm down. You let your guard down because I can't move. Do you think you won already? Says the man mockingly while sticking his tongue out. There's a silver piercing on his tongue. That's his invocation item. And above his tongue, an already complete magic circle begins to shine. You had to leave my mouth alone so you could interrogate me, right? I was being cautious because you used strange magic, but you're still just a kid, and you don't have enough experience in actual battles, so the rug has been pulled from under you. What looks like tobacco smoke starts coming from deep inside the man's mouth. No, that's not smoke. Flies? That's right. Carnivorous fly monsters I selectively bred and keep in my stomach. These flies enter people's bodies through their orifices, eat their flesh and drink their blood from the inside, and lay eggs. And best of all, they're so many, and they're so small, that you can't hope to deal with them all. An army of flies buzzes its way out of the man's mouth, so concentrated. They look like smoke. What tasteless magic, although it's just like the Sorcerer Association. Listen and be amazed. I'm Belzebub the Fly Pillar Mage. the favorite pupil of the renowned first-class mage Rains Ruddable, also known as Puppet Mage. My enslavement magic is already level 5, so, excuse me. I point the palm of my hand towards them, and flies start dropping to the ground. I don't have time to play with you. Flies have very short lifespans. If I accelerate the time of their bodies, accelerating their aging, they die right away. The man looks at the ground, dumbfounded. But he quickly gets a hold of himself and starts formulating another technique in his mouth. Time. Turn back. I turn my palm towards his mouth, and the magic circle he was creating disappears. The time of the magic circle was rolled back to before it was created. Technique killer. One of my anti-mage techniques, that was feared even in the future. It doesn't work against powerful opponents, but it works more than well enough on someone like him. Why, my technique. Sorry to bother you while you're panicking, but it's about time to end this. I don't think I'm getting any more information out of him. Also, I took a little too much time. I'm only accelerating us, so people around us are slowly moving. I can see Elle already got the ice cream from the stand, and she should be heading back here soon. Before she does, I place my hand on the man's face. Ah, that's right. Breaking magic circuits is delicate work, so try to stay still. If you don't, you'll just suffer needlessly like that one before. Eek. Stop. The man shrieks. For people of the Sorcerer Association, having their magic circuits broken is a fate worse than death. But I'm sure it will serve as an example for them. Sorry. I'll talk. I'll tell you anything. Not the magic circuits. No. Stop. At least kill. End. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 46. Pale Girl. Crom. I undo the acceleration after taking out the mage that was after us, and go back to Elle like nothing happened. She looks at me, and runs my way. Look. They said it's flower rice. Ice cream in the shape of a flower, and this red part here, it's jam made from almonds flowers. That's pretty interesting. Here's yours. Thanks. I take the ice cream from Elle with a smile, as a commotion starts behind us. Hey, someone's on the ground here. What's with all the dead flies? This guy is carrying a bloody knife. Are people from the black market fighting? Call the guards. People start running in a panic. No. Did something happen? Who knows? But the capital isn't as safe as Almana, so we better watch out too. Yes. I turn around while evading the question. That takes care of one pair of eyes looking at us, but there's one more. I look at where this gaze is coming from, and see someone quickly hiding behind a building. She's supposed to be stealthy, but people around are looking at her, wondering what she's doing. I have a pretty good idea of who it is. Neither sister is good at stealth, I guess. I figure I can leave it alone, since she doesn't pose a lot of danger. But just as I'm thinking this, I bump into a girl that's walking towards me. Sorry. I quickly lower my head. But, strange. I was looking away, but I don't think there was anyone near enough for me to bump into them. Are you alright? Yes. Here. I pick up the book she dropped, and get a good look at who I bumped into. White. That's my first impression. Her hair is pure white like a blank sheet of paper. White clothes, white skin. There's still some childlike innocence on her face, and I can't read its emotions at all. It's like a doll's face, almost transparent, fleeting. Something about her makes me feel like I'll forget her quickly, like a white page inside a book. That is what I feel, but, I feel like I've seen this face. It triggers something in a corner of my memory. The corners of my eyes start feeling warm, and emotions I have no idea why they're here start welling up. Do I know her? I feel that way for some reason. I get the feeling that I've met her in the faraway future, and she was very important. And yet, I can't remember. I have to remember. This is making me feel restless, but my memory is a hazy mist. Can you see? The pale girl asks with an emotionless tone. See what? She doesn't answer, and she's just going to keep walking like nothing happened. Wait. Before I can even think about it, I reach out and grab her hand. She tilts her head in confusion, with the same emotionless look on her face. Crom, what is it? Elle peeks over at me, sounding perplexed. I'm perplexed too, to be honest. Even I don't know why I suddenly grabbed her, but somehow, I felt I had to. Like she would disappear if I didn't. Who? A white, hazy voice echoes deep inside my mind. Will you kill me? This voice isn't coming from the girl in front of me, but it's the same voice. No matter how many times I forget, I will remember you. I will find you every time. So come stay. Are these my memories? I don't know these memories. Any more Demon King cells will be dangerous. I have to be stronger so I don't lose any more. So no one else has to cry. Fragments of my unknown memories rush to my head. If I'm going to the past, then the two. No. Only you can go. Then we can live in this time. It's like thousands of scattered pieces of memories. One piece alone isn't enough for me to see the bigger picture, but then, remember. A sharp pain rushes through my head. It forces me to let go of the girl's hand, and grab my head. What's wrong, Crom? Elle asks, sounding worried. Are you alright? Does your head hurt? No. I'm fine. It's nothing, I say while looking around. More importantly, Elle, you saw me bump into that white-haired girl, right? Where did she go? White hair? Elle tilts her head like she has no idea what I'm saying. I didn't see anyone like that. I look around again and don't see her either. The pale girl disappeared like a phantom. She was small. So did she disappear among the crowd of the capital as soon as I took my eyes off her? Or was she just a phantom? No, that can't be. The flow of magic energy in the air was clearly disturbed. But that means she. No, there's no point in thinking about it now. If it's who I'm thinking, I wouldn't catch her even if I went after her now. More importantly, I need to make sure I don't worry Elle. Sorry. It's all right now. My head just hurt because I ate the ice cream too fast. Really? Yes. Well then, I think it's time to go to the Scarlet Mansion. And then, we start walking again. I sneak a peek behind me, but the pale girl really is nowhere to be seen. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 47, The 12 Sages on the Move. This chapter is told from the enemy's point of view. Have you heard of the memory doll? Pages of books flapped as they fluttered away in the main street of the capital, and they say it's an abandoned doll that envies humans and eats happy memories. Scary, right? They say her hair is pure white and, what were we talking about? As if the strings holding books together were undone, pages fell from the people walking around town. Not a single person noticed this, as the pages were sucked into one book. This book had a thick binding, looking like a grimoire, and the person holding it with both arms, was a pale girl. Her emotionless face felt artificial, like a doll with emeralds for eyes. The girl staggered her way through town, walking as though she was a lost child. That ice cream was really good. It was worth waiting in line for it. Yes. What did we eat? What are you talking about? We didn't eat anything. You're right. I guess my memory's playing tricks on me. Pages danced around the pale girl like a whirlpool. She grabbed one of them, and licked her lips. Thank you for the ice cream. No one paid any heed to the pale girl. Even if they did see her, they forgot her soon after. No one could read her, and she left nothing in their memories. She was like a blank page. Something was definitely abnormal, but this abnormality was the girl's daily life. However, this day was a little different. The pale girl suddenly remembered the face of the boy she met just before. What a strange person. He found her for some reason. He managed to find her, and not only that, he spoke to her. It was the first time he talked to her like that, and grabbed her hand. He looked straight at her. Thinking about him felt a little warm deep inside her chest. Because of this, she didn't want to forget him, even if she never saw him again, even if their tails never crossed paths again. Did you get lost again, Memoria? All of a sudden, a man that looked dead appeared in front of the pale girl. Above his pasty, patched-together skin, was a long coat that looked like a morning dress. His eye sockets were sunken, but the cold light of his eyes shined from deep within them. Father. The pale girl named Memoria approached Father without changing her expression. Report. How did your mission go? HN. Memoria opened her book slowly, seemingly because it was heavy. As you said, Father, I made everyone forget about the Sorcerer Association and the Almoner Dungeon. All that is left is the people of the Scarlet Family and Chronogate. This is taking too long. I apologize. But it's fine. Chronogate is here in the capital. Let's be careful, and reset for now, said Father, and the light faded from Memoria's eyes. Book pages. Memory pages flew away from Memoria's body all at once. The boy's face she remembered until just now became dimmer as it disappeared from the girl's mind. She didn't want to forget, but couldn't stop it. Memoria simply stood still for a while. She suddenly tilted her head. Where am I? Who am I? Like she was lost, like she lost her memory. Memoria looked around her. This isn't the capital. And your name is Memoria. Father responded as if he was very used to it, and like he was doing maintenance on a tool. The 10th seat of the 12 sages, Memory Sage Memoria lost memory. My doll. Memory doll. Memory manipulating witch. The one who disposed of memories for the Sorcerer Association. More people called her these things than her actual name. But that was natural, since almost no one remembered her. Even she would forget. Yes, memorized. Memoria nodded with mechanical movements, like a doll. More importantly, I have a mission for you. Mission? Yes. Take Chronogate's memories. Chronogate. Memoria vacantly repeated this in her mind as if she were hypnotized. Is he bad? Yes, of course. There is no one in this world who isn't evil, and this guy is your enemy. Memoria's enemy. He is a hindrance to our plans. Unless we remove him from our way, we will only be creating demon kings thoughtlessly and for nothing. Also, said Father with a dark smile, I definitely want Chronogate's memories. Chronogate could be rendered powerless if his memories were taken from him, and all the knowledge and techniques shrouded in mystery would become theirs. They lost many pawns in Almoner's dungeon, but it would all be worth it if they could acquire his memories. Memoria, you are the memory manipulating witch. No one can defeat you on your first meeting. Not even this hero who defeated a demon king. People were made of memories, spells, fighting styles, knowledge, techniques. All were nothing more than a product of memories. No matter how strong a person was, they would be powerless without them. Understood. If you say so, Father. Memoria nodded. Orders were written on this blank piece of paper. I, Memoria, will take away Chronogate's memories. And as if responding to her voice, memory pages frantically flew away like a paper blizzard. Once they cleared, no one was standing in that place. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 48, Scarlet Residence. Downtown in the capital, Labrie's little sister, Lisbelle Scarlet, stared at Chronogate silently. She moved swiftly from the cover of one shadow to the next. What incredibly perfect tailing. Only Liz here could still be tracking him without losing sight of him, she said with a self-satisfied tone while wiping sweat off her brow. Mommy, what's that? Foo-foo. Spring makes people behave oddly. Lisbelle seemed unaware of all the A's on her, or that Chrom had already noticed her for that matter, and so, although she could not look any more suspicious, she continued taking notes about Chrom. So that's our guest Chronogate, the one big sister Labries says she owes a debt to. According to what she heard when she eavesdropped on her father, Chronogate destroyed a secret base of the Sorcerer Association by himself, and saved her big sister Labries, and to thank him, her father invited him to their mansion. He was so weak, and now he's strong all of a sudden? Destroyed a secret base of the Sorcerer Association? No way. That can't be right. Yes, Lisbelle knew. Chrom was a failure who couldn't use any magic until very recently. Magic was determined by birth. People's talents couldn't just bloom, and they couldn't suddenly become strong. Lisbelle knew that very well. Good grief, is everyone at home just ignorant? Do they actually believe this nonsense? But your luck's run out now, because Liz is here. Liz will unmask you and save dear big sister Labries. A creepy smile formed on Lisbelle's face, as she held a spider toy she bought at a stall. But then 10th memory manipulation 10. She felt she heard a voice behind her, a strange and unmemorable, pure white-sounding voice. Lisbelle casually turned around, and, is Liz hearing things? No one was there, but she did see a white piece of paper fluttering out of the corner of her eye. It looked like it belonged to a book. Was it taken that way by the wind? Lizbel didn't think too much of it, but the pages multiplied in the blink of an eye, and filled Lizbel's vision. What way? The way they were moving was clearly strange. It was like they were after her, like the pieces of paper had minds of their own. Lizbel quickly shielded her face, but each time the pieces of paper touched her, she could feel her consciousness fading. Is this magic? That word popped up in the back of her mind, but she had no idea what kind of magic it was. She had never heard of magic like this. Anyway, at this rate, this is bad. Lizbel pushed through the pieces of paper, like she was drowning in paper. She struggled and struggled to escape them any way she could. But then she saw something. Through a small gap in the paper blizzard, she saw a pale girl watching her. The paper blizzard vanished, like it was an illusion. The only thing that remained was Lizbel, standing alone. What was Liz doing here? Yes, remember. She wondered how she could forget something so important. Liz has to defeat Kronigate. Yes, she was just formulating a plan for that purpose. And Lizbel was ready to put it into action. And thus, like a marionette, Lizbel staggered her way back to her mansion. The Scarlet Mansion is this way, right? We've been walking for 30 minutes since we got to the capital, and we reached the noble town, the central district of the capital in the inner part of the old city. Wall Street. Elle and I are now standing in front of the huge gate of the Scarlet residence. This thick, black metal gate reminds me of a castle's walls. I see phoenix crests carved into the gate's pillars, the Scarlet family crest. That means we're in the right place, or at least I think we are. I haven't been here in a long time, but it really is incredible. It sure is. It's overwhelming. What I see beyond the gate fence looks like a different world. There is a large garden with vivid red roses that you wouldn't think would be in the best district in town. And beyond that, there is an imposing red mansion, as expected from the mansion of one of the 4 big families of this kingdom. Seriously, Labrys really does come from a rich family. I'm reminded of this again, but we can't just hang around in front of a noble's house, so we approach a maid holding a halberd that seems to be the gatekeeper. Greetings. This lady is Eluna Moonheart, the daughter of Almoner's knight Sirius Moonheart, and I am Kronigate, a servant of the Moonheart family. Thank you very much for your invitation. I bow, and present the invitation. The warrior maid takes it, and quickly checks its contents. We have been expecting you, Lady Moonheart, daughter of Almoner's knight, and Mr. Krom. Please come inside. We exchange words that sound like they were pre-written, and the giant metal gate opens by itself. This way. The maid quickly grabs our belongings and leads the way to the mansion. We follow her inside. See Krom. You sounded like a noble. No, you're the noble here. Who was that daughter of Almoner's knight anyway? You. The Moonheart family are small-time nobles of a small town, and Dell hasn't made her proper debut as a noble, but she's still a noble lady. That means she has to act as such, but, in my mind, I was just coming to a friend's house to have fun. I don't even know if I did something rude. Well, even if you don't know proper etiquette, I think you'll get by if you just act dignified. It feels like noble etiquette changes every year anyway, so no one even knows what's right. It sounds like you actually know a lot about it. No. I just tried to study it as a servant. I used to talk to nobles quite a bit in my previous life. I would even get invited to nobles' houses when I had just been made a first-class mage and one of the 12 sages. When the world in the future wasn't completely ruined. Still, that's a lot of barriers. I turn my attention to the flow of magic energy around me, and see that it's not just that first gate. There are several magic barriers in the garden too. Do these barriers repel anyone who wasn't invited? Even I would have trouble if I decided to attack this mansion. I would have to stop and remove every barrier as I encountered them. It's like a fortress. I think I can feel at ease if I leave Elle here. As I think about this, we cross the garden and reach the mansion. The maid opens the door. And welcome to the Scarlet Mansion. Inside the entrance atrium are maids lined up, who welcome us. Maids. Why yes, They're maids, but they move exactly like soldiers, and have really violent-looking halberds. The choices fight, magic, and run pop into my head unintentionally. This really is the Scarlet Military Mansion. It really feels like the world of nobles. Yes, I've never been invited to this residence, but the crimson rug on the floor is embroidered with shiny golden thread, and the white ceiling seems to radiantly bloom due to the chandelier with crimson crystals that look like rose gems. The beautifully polished walls are decorated with ruby-studded swords and armor. It feels like my eyes are spinning in this dazzling world. I really feel like we're out of place. Me too. But still, for a mansion of high-ranking nobles, it feels less extravagant and more like it's unaffected and sincere. I look around while feeling awkward, and someone who looks like a noble young lady walks forward from behind the line of maids. Lady Aluna Moonheart and Mr. Crom Chronogate. Thank you for answering our invitation and the making your way to our home despite being invited on such short notice. We warmly welcome you to the Scarlet Home, the girl says while bowing and gracefully lifting the hem of her dress with her fingertips. She fits perfectly with the dazzling atmosphere of this mansion. Phew, a noble lady. Wow. A really noble lady. Don't forget you're still a real noble lady too, and that's Labrys, you know? She's not wearing the same outfit that's easy to move around in, and instead she's wearing a very ladylike dress. Her pink hair also looks even more beautiful than usual, and even her expression has the smile of a proper young lady frozen on it. There's no doubt about it. Labrys Scarlet, the daughter of the Duke of Scarlet, and our childhood friend. It really is Laby. I couldn't tell because she has a completely different hair around her. Is this how she's like at home? The smile frozen on Labrys face twitches. She's not only the daughter of a duke, but she's also standing in front of her father's guests. She can't act in her usual tsantsan way in front of the maids. Well then, let me start by showing you around the house, says Labrys while her face twitches. Elle hasn't caught on to what's going on in Labrys' mind, and just runs towards her. Laby, it's been a week Tilda. I missed you Tilda. Wait, Elle. Miss Aluna. Don't just. Please do not hug me so suddenly. PFFF. I turn away as I almost start laughing at Labrys' awkward attempt to sound like a noble lady. Mr. Crom. A chill runs down my spine. I fearfully raise my head, and see that Labrys is right in front of me all of a sudden. And I feel an incredible intensity in her smile. Can we talk afterwards? Why yes. I nod repeatedly without thinking, because of this indescribable pressure. And around us. A private meeting? Those two sure are close, senpai. Close enough to be in love. Kaya, has spring come for Lady Labrys? The maids excitedly whisper to each other, and Labrys' mouth twitches even more. Anyway, we can't have a nice and calm conversation here. May we go somewhere else? Why yes. In the end, she just wants to get out of here. Before I even answer, Labrys walks away quickly, while still taking care to walk like a lady, and we hurriedly follow her. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 49, Lisbelle Scarlet. Labrys manages to get away from the maids under the pretext of showing us the mansion. All right. No one should be able to see us here, she says after taking us to a very girly pink and white room to escape everyone's eyes. There are small flowers by the window, and a cute bunny doll is on the bed resting against the pillow. Is this room? Don't look around like that so much. Is this your room, Laby? So? It's not like there's anything wrong with it. I just didn't expect it to be so cute. Why are you glaring at me? HHMPH. Labrys turns away. A week ago when I saved her, I thought we were starting to get along, but it's strange. But for some reason I feel like we're further apart than before. Every time I come near her she jumps back, she won't look me in the eyes, and when our eyes do happen to meet, she quickly turns away. Still, this sulky, clearly displeased face. Yes, this is the Labrys we know. I'm so tired, even though I can swing a sword all day and not get tired. Sit wherever you want. Labrys throws her shoes off her feet and sits down on her bed while sighing. Oh? Is Laby's noble lady mode off? Obviously I only act that way in front of them. I had to do it in that situation. I sadly had to put on that frilly dress and talk like a young lady. Labrys remembers what she was just doing, grabs her pillow, and pushes it against her face. This is so awful. I didn't want you two to see me act like that. It's so embarrassing, so embarrassing, so embarrassing. Mogigagogigo. Labrys? Labrys swings her twin tails while still pressing her face against the pillow. I guess the emotional damage was pretty deep. Anyway, forget what you saw. Got it? But you looked so pretty. Yes, that dress looked good on you. Don't patronize me. I know a crude girl like me is never going to look good in a dress. I'm not cute like you, That's not true. You're cute. Yes, you're cute, Laby. Don't say that so casually. Sorry. For some reason, she only hits me with the pillow. I also don't think I dressed up so Crom could see it or anything. Taking care of your appearance is the least you could do when you invite people over. I wasn't happy about meeting you again after a while, picked my clothes yesterday, and woke up early today to do my hair or anything. So don't misunderstand it in any weird way. My imagination isn't that strong. Anyway. That's the end of it. Got it? Why yes, at the very least, I understand Labrys doesn't want to touch upon her noble lady mode. And then Labrys coughs, as if trying to recompose herself. More importantly, you're here to meet my father, right Crom? Labrys says while peeking my way and fiddling with her twin tails. What do you want with Laby's father? There's just something I want to talk to him about. That's my main goal in coming here. But I can't talk about it with Labrys and Elliot. Is it about the Sorcerer Association? Labrys guesses it based on the way I'm acting. Yes, there's something about them I need him to hear as soon as possible. I see. I thought it was strange. It was so sudden. Did you think it was something else? HMPH. Labrys turns away. But unfortunately, my father had some urgent business to take care of and left. That's why I welcomed you instead of him. I see. I guess it's true that Labrys' father rules over the Scarlet Dukedom, that is about a fourth of the Kingdom of Historia, and he's also a general of the Kingdom's army. I can only imagine he's pretty busy. Good grief, and my little sister isn't here now of all times. But then, a mild knock on the door interrupts Labrys. Big Sister Labrys? Are our guests in there? Labrys is startled, and her twin tails tremble. What is it, Laby? Quiet. Crom and Del, let's pretend we're not. Labrys, I can feel you're in there from here. Can I come in? Yes, Labrys says, sounding like she's giving up. Big Sister. The girl opens the door, rushes towards Labrys, and hugs her. She starts rubbing her cheeks against Labrys extremely fast, and her side bony tail looks like a puppy's tail wagging. Are you Laby's? My sister Lisbel. She's like if Labrys was smaller and friendlier. Where have you been, Lisbel? You're always the first one to welcome guests. Never mind that. Are they our guests? Lisbel dodges the question while turning our way. She grabs the hem of her skirt, and does a beautiful bow. I apologize for the delay. I am the third daughter of the Duke of Scarlet, Lisbel Scarlet. I would be happy if you treat me kindly. This girl. I feel like her eyes became very cold the moment she looked at me. I remember that look. Lisbel Scarlet, the third of the three Scarlet sisters. Her name was famous in the future. 13th hero, the immortal Phoenix Lisbel Scarlet. After the destruction of the Kingdom of Historia, she formed the Scarlet Chivalric Order and was one of the heroes who fought for the survival of mankind. An ally of justice, a friend of mankind, but also an enemy of an evil demon king like me. She felt like a queen in the future, but she's still pretty small. She should be around 13 at this time, and she's still growing. Are you Miss Eluna Moonheart? My sister and my father are always being helped by the Knight of Almana. It's an honor to meet you. Likewise. Hello, it's a pleasure. I don't think that's quite right, I think was trying to act like a noble. Foo-fa-foo, you are as adorable as I have heard. But you don't have to try so hard. Liz is younger than you. Really? Looks relieved, and lets out a little smile. I guess she's pretty bad at speaking politely. And you? Lisbel turns my way. I know you very well. You are Mr. Crom Chronogate, correct? I wasn't just imagining it. When she looks at me, her eyes become a little sharp. Labrys has been talking about you for a long time. Thank you for saving Liz's big sister the other day. Liz has been thinking about wanting to meet you, Mr. Crom. It shouldn't be our first meeting. Even in this era, she could have just forgotten about me. But it doesn't look to me like that's it. You can drop the mister. I'm not a noble or anything. Ah, same here. Really? Then, Big Brother Crom and Big Sister L. Be Big Sister? Me? Yes, Lizbel answers energetically, and grins. He tilde. I've always wanted a cute little sister like you. Liz is happy to get a new big sister too. Elle pats Lizbel's head. Her face has completely loosened into a smile. By the way, Lizbel, it sounded like you needed something with our guests. Ah, that's right. Lizbel covers her mouth with her hand. Father is calling for Big Brother Crom, and asked Liz to come pick him up. Father? Is he back already? Yes, and he wants to see Big Brother Crom right away. Labrys told us he had to leave on urgent business. Would he really come back that quickly? Then I'll also. Labrys was just about to get up, when. No, please stay here. Big Brother Crom was the only one who was called. All right, says Labrys, as she backs down surprisingly easily. Lizbel looks at her, and nods with a satisfied expression. Well then, shall we go, Big Brother Crom? Says Lizbel, with a sort of shady smile. I follow Lizbel as we walk around in the mansion. The mansion itself is quieter than before. I don't see any maids either. I can't see Lizbel's expression, but she's gone completely silent. We keep walking somewhere with no people around. Well, don't you think it's about time you told me what you're after? Why did you lure me out? Lizbel stops, and looks completely blindsided by my question. My father called you so. That's a lie, isn't it? And we're heading towards the training ground. I've been to this mansion's training ground a few times. I don't know much about the rest of the mansion, but I do know this. Well, Liz really wanted to be alone with Big Brother Crom. Stop that already. I hate wasting time. If you're going to keep acting like a good girl, I'll save us some time. This girl and I fought and tried to kill each other for a long time in the future. I know her personality and how she talks very well. You're putting on this good girl facade to lead me into a trap, just like that time. What are you talking about, Big Brother Crom? Liz isn't that kind. You've always had the tendency to lose sight of things when it comes to your sister Labrys. If we're heading to the training ground, I'm assuming you want to have me beat me under the pretense of training or having a mock battle. I walk in front of Lizbel, and step into the training ground, as if to confirm my answer. What I see are maids of the Scarlet Mansion lined up perfectly like soldiers. Let us begin, Mr. Crom. The maids all bow. They're all holding weapons. It's like a mock battle is about to begin. So I was right. Lizbel stays quiet, but that silence itself is a response. And now you're to declare something much like, if you don't want to get hurt, stay away from Labrys. And I'm going to say no. It's with that phrase that Lizbel's smile changes completely. It's like the complete opposite. The friendly and innocent smile turns into that of a little devil that tricks people. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 50, Engagement Trial. Lizbel wants to have me attacked under the pretense of training. The moment that becomes clear, her smile changes. It's like the complete opposite. The friendly and innocent smile turns into that of a little devil that tricks people. Ha ha. You've become pretty presumptuous, haven't you, weakling Big Brother Crom? Stalking is pretty creepy, you know. Lizbel smiles while covering her mouth with her hand. It doesn't matter if you figured it out. It doesn't matter what you say. Who's going to believe you over the good girl Lizbel? If Liz raises her voice just a little, your life is over. So that's your true nature. Oh oh, Big Brother are you scared of a younger girl? So sad. No. Now it makes sense. You had that smile back then too. I think back. Why is Miss Labrys with that failure? Don't come near her, you failure. I've been warned several times by servants of the Scarlet family not to get close to Labrys. And the one pulling the strings back then was Lizbel. Liz heard all about it. That older boy is tricking my sister Labrys and is going to do something awful to her. she would say. She would cry and act scared behind the adults' backs. But just like now, there was a nasty smile hidden in that face. Lizbel has always been a good girl, and the adults always believed her little performances. With me, it was the opposite. No one believed me. I even got it in my head that it would be better for Labrys if I wasn't around, and I ended up distancing myself from her. If you remember being warned, why is someone like you getting close to Labrys? Are you weak in the head too? And you even went into my sister's room, polluting its aroma. So you being a siscon wasn't acting. I wish it was. Ha. But it's all just like you said. Lizbel skips in front of me. I really want you to train our maids. According to what I heard, you destroyed a secret base of the Sorcerer Association all by yourself, and heroically saved my sister. Isn't that right? Says Lizbel with her good girl face, before turning her back to the maids, and whispering to me with her nasty smile. But that's all a lie, isn't it? I have no idea what she's talking about. Ha. Don't play dumb. Liz knows. People say you're a hero, and we owe you, but it's all a lie. You're tricking everyone. No, I didn't lie about any. So someone as weak as you got strong all of a sudden, and destroyed a secret base of the Sorcerer Association that no one knew about all by yourself? That doesn't make any sense. Magic power is determined by one's talent at birth anyway. That's true. Magic power is determined by one's talent. I worked like hell for 100 years to turn that gap in my talent upside down. But it's not like I can explain any of that. Yes. You have nothing to say, do you, big brother? Wimp. Liz is right. Lizbel says while looking smug. Liz knows everything. You orchestrated that whole thing because you're after my sister to move up in the world. That's why Liz is going to show everyone how bad you are. Lizbel laughs, like an innocent but cruel child hurting someone weaker. But, so I just have to go along with this training, right? That's fine. I wanted to do some exercise too. Lizbel is stunned. She never expected me to accept it so easily. And I want to clear up that misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? You can think I'm weak all you want, but Labrys is my dear childhood friend. I don't need any other reason to want to be with her, or to want to protect her smile. I look directly at her, and she steps back like she's feeling pressured. And then, her face contorts and she presses her head. You're talking a whole lot for someone so weak. She smiles, but it looks forced. Ha. But you're actually scared, because your true colors are about to be shown, aren't you? You talked a lot 3 years ago too, but all it took was for me to mess with you a little, and you ran away from my sister like the pathetic. What do you mean? Suddenly, a cold voice echoes behind us. I look around, and see Labrys. How long has she been standing there? Big sister? When did you? I heard everything. I thought you might be up to something, so I came here to check, and Labrys looks a little awkward. I see, so that's why you distanced yourself from me. I thought it was weird. And yet, I blamed you for it. But you were actually behind it all. Lizbel. No, Liz was only thinking of you. And Liz didn't do anything. It's all his fault. Lizbel tries to defend herself while pressing her head. Why yes, he tricked you. He's weak, but he's lying, and pretending he saved you. That's why Liz wants to reveal his true colors, and make you see. Lizbel. A cold aura is emanating from Labrys. I think she's really upset. Lizbel shrinks back as Labrys' aura pressures her. And Labrys continues, you know, Crom is 100 times stronger than me. What kind of joke is that? Big sister? You think I'm joking? Then take a look at his power. You're about to do that trial, right? Well then, if you do, there won't be any more doubts about how strong Crom is. Are you sure about this? An evil grin forms on Lizbel's face for a second. Big sister, you know no one has ever completed this trial, right? Yes, but that's the only way we can measure his strength. Did I agree to take part in a trial? And if he dies, it won't be Liz's fault, right? It's all right. That won't be a problem for Crom. Liz will make you open your eyes. The two sisters leave me to the side, as sparks fly between them. See, calm down you two. Be quiet, Crom. Please be quiet, big brother. Yes. I quickly back down. But something is bothering me. I peek over at Lizbel's face, Lisbel's eyes aren't normal. They aren't the eyes of someone who is being mind-controlled, but something doesn't feel right. And she keeps pressing her head, like she has a headache. I've seen this happen to people in the future. Is it really that magic? In any case, I need to fight Lisbel. In the future, we couldn't compromise, and had to fight to kill each other. But I should be able to change our relationship from here. You're really going to accept this trial, big brother? Aren't you going to run away crying like before? In the training ground of the Scarlet Mansion, Lisbel Scarlet faced a boy named Crom Chronogate, a talentless boy, who for some reason was admired by Lisbel's sister. She never liked him. Geez, Liz really doesn't get how she can be fooled by this wimp. She took a good look at the boy in front of her. He smiled awkwardly, and stood with his natural posture. No matter how much she looked at him, it was clear he had no magic energy. He wasn't concealing it or anything. It just wasn't there. It's just like before. And yet, Crom, I don't really get it, but good luck. Mr. Crom, you are aware that you can't win, aren't you? Kaya. He accepted the trial for Miss Labrys. This trial? It's not easy. People were cheering for him. Lisbel didn't like how they were all on his side. No matter how hard Lisbel acted like a good girl. Not fair. Bad memories flashed through Lisbel's mind. That had been happening a lot that day. What's happening? Geez. She didn't want to remember it, but those memories appeared vividly in her mind. The pain, loneliness, frustration, everything she felt back then. Yes, and it's all because he showed up. No one saw the truth, so she would make them see it. She would make them understand. I have to defeat him. I have to defeat him. I have to defeat him. Urged by her memories, Lisbel tightened the grip on the broom staff she was holding. But wait, is everyone my opponent? Crom said, sounding incredulous. Yes. There were 100 armed maids behind Lisbel, and they weren't simple house servants. They were the covert private army of the military Scarlet family. 100 against 1. Oh Tilda, big brother. Oh Tilda, are you getting scared? But you defeated all those mages, didn't you? I thought for sure you could handle this, Tilda. This was not a duel, it was a test of one's power, and thus, it was not unfair. Also, Lisbel didn't mention this to Crom, but this was an old trial of the Scarlet family. The engagement trial. The Scarlet family valued strength, so there was an old tradition that if one can clear the engagement trial, he can marry a lady of the Scarlet family regardless of social status. That being said, no one had ever cleared it, because no one ever took it, so it was basically forgotten. This trial will unmask you. Lisbel figured that if her father was going out of his way to call Crom to their home, he must have been thinking about a marriage between him and her sister, and that she could not allow. And that led us to this engagement trial. If one failed this trial, they would be prohibited from becoming engaged to a member of the Scarlet family for 1 year. This would be valid even if that person stepped down after the trial started. That way, Lisbel could expose Crom as well. 2 birds with 1 stone. You can still run away. Just apologize for lying. No. That's fine. I wanted to do some exercise too. And if I can clear up that misunderstanding, do you still think you can beat Liz? I should tell you, every maid here can use level 3 magic. And by the way, Liz has reached level 4. You did you insist on making fun, eh? That wasn't my intention. Lisbel's face turned red with annoyance. 3 seconds, eh? You'll be covered in blood splatters in 3 seconds. Doesn't that mean you'll lose? HMPH. Anyway, you'll soon learn who's best, said Lisbel, as she took position behind the lines. As a commander, she gave instructions. The maids each took their positions in front of her, and with that, the battle was set to begin. Big Sister Labrys, give the order. All right. Labrys, who took position as a judge, raised her arm. Start. And with that, the maids in the back row holding staves started moving, raising their broom staves above their heads and creating magic circles in a second. Triple laundry current. They all fired level 3 water magic at the same time, and a huge water tornado appeared around Crom. If he touched this sharp whirlpool cage, it would be like a person putting their body in the way of a cloth-cutting machine. He could not stop the whirlpool, and there was no sign that he was getting out. Oh Tilda, big brother. Oh Tilda, that was only supposed to be a little test to start off. Are you already completely helpless? Oh well, If you give up, I will hear. First, one. With that voice, the broom staff Lizbel was holding was cut by a sword. Ho was the only response the surprised Lizbel could give. Crom was suddenly in front of her. Having seemingly completely ignored the 99 maids positioned in front of her. The maids then quickly turned around, and opened their mouths in amazement, but the boy who was at the focus of their attention only scratched his head, seemingly troubled. So does that mean one of you is out? Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 51, Lizbel's Memories. So does that mean one of you is out? Said Crom, and Lizbel came back to her senses. She tried to speak, but her mouth flapped without forming words. She didn't understand what was done to her. She couldn't follow this situation. Oh, out? Liz? The invocation item she used, that broom staff, had been broken. That did mean she was out, but her mind couldn't process it. Crom then placed his hand on this confused head. It's dangerous, so how about you fall back? Crom smiled kindly, before turning his back to Lizbel. It was like he was implying she was not his enemy anymore. Lizbel completely forgot about her good girl act, and screamed. He was totally treating her like a child. He didn't even see her as an enemy. It wasn't even like he was thinking about strategy, and targeting the commander first. He simply targeted Lizbel first because it would be dangerous for her to be involved in the battle. How humiliating, even though all that happened was that she was careless. She hadn't shown her all yet. If she actually fought, there was no way she would fall behind that boy. And yet, it wasn't fair. Vanguard, encircle. Crush his mobility first. Understood. The maids also soon came to their senses, and encircled Crom with perfectly coordinated movements. If speed was his strength, they would just have to change their formation so he couldn't use it. Triple boost. Physical strengthening 3. Maids slashed at Crom from every direction. The same maids who normally used their combat spells to do housework. Most of them could use level 3 magic, and their well-organized movements were exactly those of an army. With things like halberds and kitchen knives in hand, they unleashed slashes with no room to escape. Wow! Lizbel doubted her eyes. Crom was attacked from every direction, and blocked every attack with one sword in his hands. No, he was not just blocking them. He's fast. He was being attacked from every direction, and winning. The maids were slowly being pushed back, as metal violently clashed against metal, until the weapons the maids were holding all broke at the same time. Iron scraps flew into the air as though they exploded, and glinted as they fell to the ground. That's 7. Crom Chronogate stood completely unharmed. What is going on? Their opponent was just one person. No matter how strong he was, he shouldn't have the stamina and magic energy. Even his sword should eventually break if strengthening magic wasn't continuously being cast on it. And yet, 9, 11, 15, 20. The maids' weapons kept being destroyed, and Lizbel's numbers were dwindling. At this rate, she would lose. It can't be. All Lizbel could do was stand in awe. Her head twisted to understand the situation in front of her. That boy should be a failure, just like her. Why was he so strong? How did he leave Lizbel behind like everyone else? I can't play with Big Sister Labrys again today. It seemed like Lizbel had to see her sister run off to Almana every day. She was a prodigy, especially after their mother's death. It was said there weren't many who could teach her how to use a sword. The only person nearby who could take her as a pupil was Holy Sword in the neighboring town. She started being homeless. Lizbel wondered if she never even liked being there in the first place. Even when she was home, she only thought about the sword, by herself. If Lizbel wanted to be with Labrys, she would have to become strong enough to be Holy Sword's pupil too. It was with this goal in mind that she did her best. But, you do have talent, Miss Lizbel, but you are not on the same level as Miss Labrys. Are you really a young lady of the Scarlet family? Did your older sister suck your talent from you? Although, you are a good girl at least. No matter how hard she worked and how much she schemed, Lizbel could never reach her sister. She couldn't fill the gap that separated their innate talents. And if she didn't have talent, if she was weak, she couldn't be with her sister. In order to fill the loneliness, all she could do was put on the good girl act, loved by everyone. That was how it should have been, but one day, Lizbel saw it. A boy that was an even bigger failure than her, but was admired by her sister. Not fair. He was weak, but he could be with Labrys by just speaking carelessly, and Labrys would show him faces she had never shown Lisbel. He wasn't putting on an act, but was loved by everyone. Despite being a failure just like Lisbel, he had everything she wanted. Even though she worked harder, and even though she was stronger. Not fair, not fair, not fair, not fair, not fair. Her past feelings were being vividly brought back, and Lisbel began to grind her teeth. This has to be a deception, some sort of unfair trick. It was impossible to get over the talent one was born with. Lisbel knew that very well. She knew there wasn't much room to grow with just effort. Unless someone trained like hell for 100 years, it was impossible to suddenly become that strong. I see. Lisbel noted something. The cut end of her broken broom staff was rotten. This is dark magic. Dark magic ruled over darkness, vanishing, degradation, erosion, among other things. The way he appeared to have no magic energy. The way he managed to get near Lisbel, it was all thanks to dark magic concealment techniques. Dark magic is tricky, but once it's exposed, it's over. Lisbel grinned. This would not be hard to deal with once she knew what it was. But the maids didn't notice it. Their weapons were being destroyed one after the other, and Lisbel's irritation exploded. What are you doing, you dolts? Give me that. Miss Lisbel. A maid was bewildered, as Lisbel was acting completely different than usual. But that didn't bother Lisbel. I absolutely can't lose to him. Lisbel snatched away the broom staff of a maid next to her, and got on top of it. Fourth comet. Flames of magic energy fired backwards from both sides of the broom staff, and Lisbel was propelled up. She kept going, drawing a trajectory reminiscent of a shooting star straight towards Crom. She charged at Crom from a blind spot, from above. And also, dark magic was weaker when used against a source of light. Crom couldn't dodge or guard. I won. Lisbel was sure of it. But the next moment, the boom staff stopped completely. It wasn't because it ran out of magic energy or anything. The charge of the broom staff was stopped by Crom's palm. Wow! It couldn't be. There was no way he could stop that momentum with one hand. But no matter how much magic energy she put into it, the broom staff wouldn't budge. And then, turn back. Crom chanted quietly. The broom staff in her hands flew back. It followed the exact same trajectory from when she was attacking. It's mirroring the attack. The broom staff stopped suddenly, but Lisbel was thrown into the air. Oh no! She let go of the invocation item that was the broom staff. She couldn't use magic, and if she fell from there, she would be lucky to only get seriously hurt. Lisbel panicked and screamed. She kept falling, and just before she crashed to the ground, she closed her eyes tightly. But the impact she was expecting never came. She just felt like she was being gently held by someone. Are you all right? Did you get hurt? She fearfully opened her eyes, and saw Crom's face close to hers. That was when she noticed she was in Crom's arms. Did he save me? She couldn't understand it. Why, of all people, did he? He was her enemy. He should resent her, and be happy if she got seriously hurt. So why did he save me? She couldn't understand. It was so confusing. All she knew was that the position she was in was colloquially known as Princess Carrie. As she understood the situation she was in, her face became increasingly hotter. Let go. I decided my first Princess Carrie would go to someone I like. Did you? Sorry. Crom quickly put her down, and smiled awkwardly. So, can he consider this trial cleared? Lisbel looked around, and saw the maids had given up. All their weapons had been broken. Labrys, the judge, was stunned for a moment, but quickly raised her hand when she came to her senses. The winner is Mr. Crom Chronogate. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 52, Drago of Scarlet. The winner is Mr. Crom Chronogate. Those words were followed by cheers. You did it, Crom. Well, that's to be expected. Ellen Labrys were the first two to run to him, but not the last. We lost. Thank you for this battle. It was a good learning experience. Is your fighting style the Moonheart style? What kind of training do you usually do? The maids he was fighting also gathered around Crom. And then, well done. Everyone turned around, and saw someone who was not supposed to be there. Father. Lisbel's face turned pale in the space of a second. The one person who couldn't see this, saw it. The stern-looking man with slicked-back red hair. The father of Lisbellan Labrys, the head of one of the 4 major houses of this kingdom, and the general of this nation's army, Drago of Scarlet. He didn't introduce himself. There was no need for him to do so. His face and presence were his business card. Crom quickly corrected his posture, and bowed. It is an honor to meet you, Lord Scarlet. I have been hearing tales of your brave deeds for a long time. I am very grateful for your invitation. I hate this polite way of speaking, he said, stopping Crom's words. I saw your strength. I heard about it from Sirius too, but your sword is nothing less than tremendous. I cannot imagine how someone your age reached so far. Thank you. Crom was casually praised. Of course, for someone who didn't know the context, it all seemed very normal. But Lisbel and the maids were amazed. Father complimented someone. Lisbel had never seen something like this before. This was someone who would not speak in a diplomatic way. He would never compliment someone who was not as strong or stronger than himself. But that meant this could describe the boy standing in front of them. But in comparison, you, Lisbel. Lisbel's father turned to her and glared. That was enough for cold sweat to break out of her entire body. The pressure was immense, like she was standing in front of a dragon. Mr. Crom is my guest. Do you understand that pointing your sword at him is like pointing your sword at me? I'm sorry. Lisbel trembled. She was scared, and felt miserable. Tears began to stream down her face. But then, please wait. A shadow stepped forward, like it was covering Lisbel. When she looked up, she saw Crom in front of her. Are you attempting to meddle with the business of my house? Lisbel's father's sharp eyes pierced through Crom. The head of the Scarlet family was not someone a commoner boy could talk back to. If he so wished, he could make it so Crom couldn't lead a decent life in this country. And yet, he didn't seem perturbed. She simply accompanied me in my training. A foolish-sounding voice escaped from Lisbel's mouth. Is that true? Yes. I don't feel well unless I swing my sword every day, so I asked her to be my training partner. Isn't that right, Lisbel? Lisbel nodded without thinking, but she didn't understand. She could not figure this boy out at all. Why? She whispered. Why are you helping Liz? They were most certainly not friends. And he was worried about her when they fought too. He should know by now that she was not a good girl. She didn't understand why he was being nice to her. I don't know how to answer that. Crom scratched his cheek, not knowing what to say. Do I need a reason? He said like it was obvious. I see. She finally understood. Strong, weak, it didn't matter. It was this about him that charmed people. Liz was wrong. Lisbel only thought about herself. But this boy only thought about others. It was like this when she trapped him and pulled him away from her sister too. I'm sorry. I made you feel lonely. But I won't take Labrys away from you. If you or Labrys can't smile because of me, I won't go near either of you again. He apologized even though he did nothing wrong, thinking it was his fault. That was frustrating. So much that Lisbel stopped thinking it wasn't fair, and felt defeated. I see. She understood. He wouldn't try to trick someone out of malice. Why did she forget that? Why was she thinking it wasn't fair like before? It's all right, Lisbel. Leave it to me, Crom said quietly while placing his hand on her head. Looking at his smile made her feel at ease, even though he was supposed to be her enemy. For some reason, her face felt hot, and emotions she didn't quite understand filled her chest. Lisbel didn't know what to call these emotions yet, but knew she didn't want her face to be seen. Acting all cocky, Lisbel turned away, just like her sister did. I see. Lisbel's father looked at Crom as if he were appraising him. Eventually, he let out a low laugh. It's just like Sirius said. He really does have a good pupil. I like you, Mr. Crom Chronogate. He snapped his fingers loudly, and maids quickly lined up behind him, before holding their halberds forward at the same time. Our Scarlet family welcomes you as my daughter's fiancé. Crom stared vacantly, and Lisbel realized something. She never really talked about the engagement trial. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 53, Countermeasures Against the 12 Sages. Well then, I figured you would want to talk to me alone. After the engagement trial, we had a welcome dinner, and I was called to Lord Scarlet's office. The general of this country's army, Drago of Scarlet. I take a good look at the person sitting in front of me. He's not doing anything, but it still feels like there's a lot of pressure emanating from him. This is Labrie's father, Lord Scarlet. It's my first time meeting him, because in my previous life, he lost his life 10 days ago, as the kingdom was destroyed. He was said to be a very powerful person, who controlled the army like they were his limbs. I can't help but straighten my back when I'm facing him. Don't worry about etiquette here, he tells me. Probably because he can tell how I'm feeling. Etiquette is basically weapons nobles use to defend themselves and attack others. Is there any need for such a boorish thing here? No. He thinks less like a noble and more like a soldier. His influence is probably what makes Labrie's not like her status as a noble lady. Firstly, allow me to thank you for saving my daughter, Mr. Crom, he says while bowing deeply. No. Please raise your head. Naturally, this makes me flustered. Even if there's no one else here, a noble doesn't bow for no reason, especially the head of one of the 4 major houses. I just did what I needed to do. Don't be modest. You destroyed a secret base of the Sorcerer Association by yourself, defeated several first-class mages, and put a stop to the 12 Sages' scheme to transform people into Demon Kings before it could come to fruition. My daughter also told me you took on a monster that was like a Demon King by yourself. Well, I can't say I fully understand what you did, but if you are modest about this, where does that leave me? I'm sorry. I would like to scout you as a knight right away, but, that's... No, I understand. You still have a job to do, correct? As someone whose position puts me above others, I have seen many people, and I can see it in your face. Lord Scarlet stands down with no issue, and sips his red wine. This really is someone who stands above nobles and soldiers. It's like he can see through me as we talk. However, I am not sure what to give you as a reward for this achievement. If you wish for anything, tell me. A title, renown, wealth, anything. I will listen to one request. No. All I want is peace. Cuckoo. You are quite greedy for your age. That wish is far beyond the scope of my power. Sorry. Having that said, I can promise you that we, the Scarlet family, will do everything we can to protect your peace. Thank you. Having the Scarlet family on my side is very reassuring. There's only so much I can protect on my own, but I still have to give you some kind of reward. You cleared the engagement trial, so in chivalric romances, this is where one would say let me marry your daughter? No. Both parties' feelings are important in those situations. I see. It won't be easy for them. Lord Scarlet presses his head with the palm of his hand for some reason. Anyway, let's put your reward on hold for now. If you think of anything, say it any time. Yes. Also, one more thing. This might be bad news, but I believe it is related to you. The expression on his face turned serious. The mages we captured in Almoner's dungeon last week all lost their memory. That means the mages involved with kidnapping Labrie's and the project to create a Demon King. I did hear that they were handed over to the Scarlet family for interrogation. Collective amnesia? Yes, but to be more precise, they only forgot about things related to the incident in Almoner, and people who know about this incident have also been losing their memories one after the other. That's clearly a very unnatural case of collective amnesia. Something like this wouldn't happen normally, meaning, it really is. I think I know what it is. In fact, I sowed these seeds. Do you know anything about this? Yes. This is an attack by the 12 Sages. What? I answer bluntly, and Lord Scarlet drops his wineglass. Well, I was a part of the Sorcerer Association in my previous life, so I know how they operate. The Sorcerer Association has memory mages whose job is to dispose of memories that are inconvenient to the association, but there is one that stands out among the rest. It has to be her. And what is this person's name? The 10th seat of the 12 Sages, Memory Sage Memoria Lost Memory, a phantom-like sage, who is shrouded in mystery. Only a few records of her remain, because she leaves no memories of herself in people's minds. But there were some records in the future, that said she was one of the key people in the project to create Demon Kings, and was active in this country in this era. I purposefully worked in a way that would force her to dispose of memories. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to leave as many survivors as possible among the mages in the Almanor dungeon. 12 sages. If that is true, it is very rough. How many people still have their memories? Only us. Deep wrinkles appear in Lord Scarlet's face. If we revealed this to the public, it could cause panic. So few people knew about it. But that is now a problem. Only the people in this house know about that incident. That means this mansion will be targeted next. It's good that we know what they will target next. It means we know what to defend. But this mansion's barrier is very strong. I can't imagine this memory sage will break through, even if she is one of the 12 sages. Yes, I assume the barrier is the reason why this mansion hasn't been attacked yet. But that is no reason to rest easy. What? Memory manipulation is like a pseudo-spirit manipulation. Lisbeth is already showing signs of memory manipulation. Wow. Lisbeth, most likely, a spell was cast on her when she went outside. I assume the plan was to deplete my magic energy via the trial, and lift the barrier from the inside when the attack came. It can't. That is exactly why I told her to stay here. Lord Scarlet is visibly flustered. His scary appearance might lead people to think otherwise, but he cares a lot about his daughters. This clumsy but kind attitude reminds me a lot of Labrys. Anyway, first we need to make sure Lisbeth is safe, and then check the barrier. No, please hold on. We should actually lift the barrier. What? That will accomplish nothing but invite the enemy in. Yes. We should invite them in. Yes. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for the last week. The memory sage Memoria leaves no memories of herself, so it would be impossible for me to go out and find her, even with my time, magic and knowledge of the future. So I lured her. I created a situation where I would know exactly where she would go. Don't worry, I have an idea. Do you intend to fight the 12 sages? Yes, I say while putting the pieces for the upcoming battle in place in my mind. I will intercept Memoria lost memory. It's after my conversation with Lord Scarlet, and late at night. Elle was excited about a sleepover party here in Labray's room, but she's sleeping peacefully. Bunny. Where? This? HN. Labray's is also drowsy, but when I hand her a rabbit stuffed animal, she hugs it tightly and falls asleep like it calmed her. Good night. I cover them with a blanket, pat their heads gently, and leave the room. Well then, I check the bell in my pocket as I walk around the mansion at night. I've been told this bell rings when the gate to the mansion is opened. It hasn't rung yet, but it should be coming soon. I spoke to Lisbeth after I spoke with Lord Scarlet, and confirmed that she really was going to lift the barrier. It seems she was convinced that lifting the barrier was something she did every night. But thanks to that, I learned when Memoria will be attacking, the barrier would be restored, so Memoria would need to attack when Lisbeth lifted it. If this is correct, she should be coming any minute now, and so, I'm heading to the entrance hall of the mansion to meet her. HN? I see someone down the hallway. Big brother. Lisbeth. Was she waiting for me? She's standing, leaning against the wall, but she doesn't have the energy she had when we spoke during the day. Even her side ponytail is drooping. I guess these sisters show emotion through their hair. What's wrong? Do you need anything with me? No. Liz is here to warn you that Liz will be lifting the barrier. I see. Thanks for coming all the way here. And, Lisbeth looks down, and fidgets with her fingers like she still has something to say. I silently wait for her to continue, and she eventually makes up her mind and speaks. Sorry about earlier, she says with an awkward expression while shrugging. Liz didn't get to apologize properly. Liz really thought it was just a little prank to show big sister how pathetic you are. Your memory was manipulated, so it wasn't your fault. But do you still want to punish me? You really are strong. And if it wasn't for you, Liz would be exposing this mansion to danger right now. but Liz still can't get these bad memories of you out of here. It's scary. Lizbel's hands are shaking a little. She's probably still being forced to remember her memories of hating me in the past. Flashing back to that trauma again and again. I think I kind of get how painful that is. You don't have to worry. I try to reassure her as much as I can by smiling and placing my hand on her head. I promise I'll bring you back to normal, so don't make that face. Smile, Lizbel. For some reason she stays quiet and stares at me. Are you like this with all girls? Eh? Like what? Oh well, it can't be helped since Liz is cute. But Liz isn't as simple as Labri's, you know. Someone plain like you isn't Liz's type at all. And how long are you going to keep patting Liz's head? Sorry. She starts flailing as her face turns red. Liz is going to report you for harassment. Did you hate it that much? Being treated like a kid is irritating. Sorry. Tilda? That didn't feel sincere. You need to lower your head and say I apologize. Right, big brother? I apologize. Ha. You're super sad. Apologizing right away. How weak. Do you want Liz to forgive you that badly, Tilda? You sure get animated when you're picking on me. Lizbel giggles, with her hand covering her mouth, even though she's still a good girl. In front of the maids, it's like when she's talking to me, she lets it all out in the open and acts the way she really is. Oh well, at least it's good that she's looking a little more cheerful. Why are you grinning all of a sudden? Creepy. I think I really like you better this way than when you put on your good girl act. For some reason, she's staring at me again. What? Liz is starting to understand you more and more. You really are the worst. Please repent. Geez, you're so impertinent for such a small fry. It's hard to root for big sister like this. Lizbel's face turns a little red as she mumbles. I can't really understand what she's saying, but as I'm about to respond, the bell in my pocket rings. The gate to the mansion has been opened. This isn't when the guards change shifts, so this can only mean one thing. It means the target took the bait. Are you going? Lizbel noted what's going on by how I'm acting. She looks up at me with some concern in her eyes. Liz doesn't really get what's going on, but hurry up and make it so this is something we can laugh about. Liz hates gloom. Yes. Leave it to me. Liz told you not to pat her head like it's nothing. After this back and forth, I leave Lizbel behind and exit the mansion. Well then. The stage is set, so I guess the battle is about to begin. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 54, Attack of the 12 Sages. The moon was shining brightly deep into the night, as the capital that was noisy even after the sunset was finally quiet. A pale girl staggered in front of the gate of the Scarlet Mansion, with unsure footsteps that made her seem like a lost child. She walked directly towards the mansion. Stop right there. What is your business with this house? The gatekeepers said while looking at the girl with sharp eyes. The pale girl said nothing, and didn't stop walking. Instead, white papers silently fell around her like snow. The maids immediately readied their halberds, sensing faint magic energy coming from the papers. I see, so you wish to fight this house? Said one of the maids with a threatening voice as she needed her magic energy. This magic energy was very polished, for someone who was just the gatekeeper of a mansion. And when the maid's technique was complete. People are made of memories. The pale girl whispered with a voice so pale, it seemed her wishes and the meaning of the words themselves had been bleached. It was a voice that would not leave a lasting memory if heard, but as if reacting to it, the maids suddenly froze in place. Their eyes were no longer on the pale girl. People are nothing but dolls controlled by their memories. The pale girl opened a book she held in her arms, and all the pages flew out of it at the same time. The girl walked through this blizzard of paper, and passed by the frozen maids. Lost one. Memory obstruction. It was a special memory technique of Memoria, lost memory of the 12 sages. This girl did not remain in people's memories. People who saw her would forget about it. They even forgot they were fighting her, and thus could not stand against her. I'm sorry for frightening you, but it's all right. Memoria lets everyone forget about her. Once you forget, there will be nothing to be afraid of. Once the paper blizzard cleared, all that remained were the maids with their mouths hung open. What were we doing? The maids titled their heads. There was no one in front of them. But then, oh, the sound of the gate shaking open echoed behind them. Ah, I guess we forgot to lock it. That's right. I don't remember doing it. Why today of all days? I'm just glad we noticed it right away. Yes, before anyone came, pages of memories soared into the sky behind them. One of these pages was caught by Memoria, who entered the mansion's courtyard. That is where Cronagate is. A map of the mansion's grounds appeared in Memoria's mind. She even knew the positions of the guards and magic surveillance items. It was like she always knew them. And then, she kept walking towards the mansion itself. She felt something was off. It's quiet. The mansion was too quiet. Even places that should have guards were empty. Only her small footsteps echoed in the dead of the night. She walked through the courtyard while tilting her head, and entered the mansion through the front door. But then, turn back. The door behind Memoria slammed shut on its own. It was like a box trap, made to catch a wild animal. Trap? That word was in the back of Memoria's mind. But she was watching out for traps. That was the point of reading the maid's memories. And yet, I was wondering when you'd get here. On the other side of the crimson rug embroidered with golden thread, the moonlight beaming down from the crimson rose glass illuminated one boy. His eyes were peaceful, as if he saw through everything, and were pointed towards Memoria. Cronagate, the name of Memoria's target. But why? For some reason, Memoria felt she was the one being hunted. So you're here to take my memories, right? But I don't like fighting. War, violence, threats, killing, armies, weapons, pillaging. I hate it. So how about you let me not fight? Memoria stood silently in front of the boy. Strange, she muttered. Why do you have memories of Memoria? Strange. Very strange. It's the first time. Memoria tilted her head like a doll. But, no matter. Cronagate is a bad guy. Father said so Memoria will beat him. In the end, what she had to do didn't change. She was just a doll who followed Father's orders. That was why she was made, why she lived, and why she would die. All for Father. Memoria opened the heavy book she held, and immense magic energy was released from her. A white paper blizzard swirled and filled the hall. Blank pages where memories hadn't been written yet. If one touched a single page, their memories would be sucked into it. This was the greatest memory magic in the world, performed by one of the 12 sages. Memoria lost memory. People are made of memories. Dreams, aspirations, hopes, love, bravery, friendship, hatred, knowledge, techniques. Memoria will let everything be forgotten. In the darkness illuminated by the cold moonlight, the emerald doll-like eyes shined brightly. If that's the future you're after, there's nothing I can do. The boy silently unsheathed his sword and held it up to the moonlight. Let's begin. Memoria lost memory of the 12 sages. I will negate that future of yours. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 55, Checkmate. The 10th seat of the 12 sages, Memory Sage Memoria lost memory. I recognize the girl in front of me from my memories of the future. She is one of the main causes for the destruction in the future. As the right-hand person of the leader of the project to create Demon Kings, Life Sage Crandall-Star, she manipulated memories around the world, and in the end became a Demon King herself. So, she was the one I saw during the day. While walking around town, I met a pale girl who was like a doll. It's like her heart itself has been bleached, like a blank page. I can't sense any emotion or thoughts from that face. She leaves no memories, even when she stands right in front of you. The moment one loses focus, she disappears from their memories. And yet, the moment I see her, a sharp pain runs through my head again. I decided to keep a diary. Even if memories of you don't remain, they will be recorded. Can I make more memories with you like this? Memories mixed with static run in the back of my mind. I really do know her, don't I? And it looks like we had a pretty close relationship in my past life. And yet, I can't remember. Among the memories that are gone, I can somewhat see us as enemies. I only faintly remember killing her after she turned into a Demon King. I couldn't save her. A lot of things are unclear about what happened in the future. In any case, I have to defeat Memoria first. My battle against Memoria has already started. Her magic is already active too. A blizzard of white papers fills the mansion's hall. These papers steal memories from whoever touches them, and they fly up in the air before rushing my way like a whirlpool. It's 100 years in the past, but she is still one of the 12 sages, the most powerful mages in the world. If we're only talking about memory magic, I don't think anyone could use it this well even in the future. It's tricky with so many papers. There's no room to just dodge when they move so fast. I can stop them all at once, but then I won't be able to move. If she takes that opportunity to run away, this will all have been pointless. I want to stop Memoria's time if I can, but she's already resisting it. Its effect is weakened because of the distance between us, but still, that's one of the 12 sages for you. I won't be able to stop her unless I can touch her, but I can't get close with so many memory pages blocking the way. I see. She read memories about me, and she has countermeasures ready. She made papers woven with that technique beforehand as a way to stop me from erasing the technique too. I'm sure there are even more countermeasures I haven't spotted yet, but I can counter those countermeasures. I put my hand out with my palm facing the white papers rushing my way. Stoppage release. Triple laundry current. The moment I say this, a magic circle begins to shine beneath my feet. Water gushes from the floor, and quickly becomes a waterspout that surrounds me. The paper blizzard rushing towards me is swallowed by this water whirlpool wall. Someone else's magic whose time I stopped was activated. Earlier, I stopped magic just before it activated with the help of some of the maids. The lights here in the hall were turned off to make it harder to see the magic circle that was set in advance. I already know how you fight. You use paper as a means to control memories, don't you? But the water tornado disappears, and wet and cut paper falls to the ground. Paper is weak against water. That should reduce the number of papers you wield quite a bit, right? Memoria's eyes, that don't show a lot of emotion, open wide. Surely she sent all those pages out at once to finish this fight quickly. I'm sure she used up a lot of memory pages. There was no memory of that kind of magic. Did you think you saw all the cards I'm holding? Memoria read memories about me from a week ago, when Labrys was kidnapped. But I was careful to fight using only what I wanted her to read. To lure out Memoria of the 12 sages, I knew I had to make them interested in my magic, while making them think Memoria could beat me by herself. And not yet. Memoria sends more pages flying, and is about to send them towards me again. But I already expected that. Stoppage release. Triple sleep. Sleep mist 3. Sleep-inducing mist covers Memoria. When activating other people's techniques, I can only control when they're activated, but they're hard to deal with since there is no time spent actually formulating them, and they fly out all of a sudden. Memoria resists it at first, but it appears the drowsiness is throwing off her magic calculations. She falls to her knees, and the pages flying my way start to limply fall. I take this opportunity to carry out my next move. Stoppage release. Triple icicle. Ice spear 3. Many magic circles cover the hall, and each of them shoots out a spear of ice. The pages in the air are pierced, and the ice spears rush towards Memoria. Her drowsiness made her kneel, meaning she can't make sudden movements. She closes her eyes tight, but the spears stop just before hitting her. Time. Stop. I stop the time of the spears. Memoria blinks rapidly as she is surrounded by ice spears in midair. Now, as you can see, if I make these ice spears move again, you die. Even if you took my memories right now, you'd just die. You don't have any more cards to play. Why did I manage to counter everything? I answer while walking towards her. Yes. It would have been almost impossible to beat you without knowing about you beforehand. Your memory magic is that powerful, but having this information about you means you're actually full of weak points. Secrecy is Memoria's biggest threat, but once you know when and from where she'll attack, there are many ways to counter her. Even the memory obstruction itself can be circumvented by making an effort to remember her. Even if I end up forgetting where she is, I can mark her location by bending my fingers in a certain way, or pointing my sword her way. If I forget I'm fighting her, I just have to make it a rule beforehand that if my sword is drawn in a noble's house, it means I'm in the middle of a battle. But I'm sure you've never lost before, so you couldn't deal with someone countering you. I stop in front of her, and take the book Memoria was holding. So I guess this is checkmate. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Index. Chapter 56. Doll. So I guess this is checkmate. I say while grabbing the book Memoria was holding. This book is probably her invocation item, so I'm sure she can't use magic without it. Now let's have a little chat. Give it back. Give it back. Memoria starts hopping, trying to take back her book. Kick. Now she's kicking me. She really doesn't know when to quit. I smack her in the head with her book, and she crouches while holding her head. Ouch. Tears well up in her eyes, as her face stays emotionless. You're awful. Kronagate really is a bad guy. I don't remember it hurting that. Sorry. I unconsciously get flustered. What's with this frail creature? I feel like that strong character aura has gone missing. I guess she's no good without her magic. And Memoria will kill you. No, you won't. Really? Memoria looks up at me with a blank, puzzled look on her face. I'm kind of taken aback. Anyway, I want to ask you some things, so I'd be really happy if you surrendered already. Can't. Memoria has to take away Kronagate's memories. Give memories please. I can't do that even if you start pleading for it. Why not? Forgetting isn't scary. You even forget you forgot. Memoria tilts her head in confusion. I think for her, memories are just something that can be easily replaced. That's probably why she doesn't even see anything wrong with taking away people's memories. You can have happy memories of different people in return. You'll be happy if you have a lot of happy memories. No, every memory is important to me. I can't just give them to you, especially since my current strength is tied to my memories of the future. Without these memories, I'm nothing more than the failure. That's why I was more wary of Memoria than anyone in this era. I honestly didn't think I'd win so easily. I had more things planned, and more magic ready to be used. Memoria's combat strength is lower than I thought. But that's a problem. Without your memories, Father will be mad. Father? Memoria is Father's doll. That's why Father's orders are absolute. Memoria lives for Father, and will die for Father. That was why Memoria was created. I see. Memoria's father. There aren't many people she would call that. Is your father the life sage Crandall Star? I ask while acting like I'm calm, but the palms of my hands are sweating a little. The fourth seat of the 12 sages, life sage Crandall Star. The person who is the key to leading the future into ruin. The leader of the project to create demon kings, and the brilliant life mage who succeeded in creating artificial demon kings. It was him who directed a demon king into Almana, making him my enemy. Cradle was mostly responsible for all those demon kings appearing. In this era, demon king cells are still being researched. If I kill Cradle, all that research data and formulas will be lost, and if I can dispose of the demon king cells he has, at the very least, demon kings will stop appearing for a while. That's part of why I wanted to extract as much information about him from Memoria, since there were records of her having worked as his underling in the future, but, forgot the name. Forgot. Memoria's memories are periodically reset. Memories of Father in particular are thoroughly made to be forgotten. Made to be forgotten. Is that one of Father's commands? Yes. Memoria is Father's doll. That means Memoria can't remember what she shouldn't. I see. Periodically resetting memories. That's probably to make her stay a doll, to make sure feelings of defiance don't sprout inside her, to make sure information doesn't get leaked. But then, he's pretty much using her like a tool. Are you alright? Are you hurt? Before I know it, Memoria is peeking directly into my face. It looked like you were going to cry. Now that she mentions it, I realize my face is completely stiff. Memoria looks at me and starts waving her short arms. If you're hurt, Memoria can make you forget. Pain go away. What's that? Memoria saw it in someone's memories. You can make people forget they're in pain even without using magic if you do this, Memoria says proudly, although her expression doesn't change. She really is hard to figure out, but I don't think she's bad. My mouth loosens into a slight smile, and I scratch my head. Geez, a bad habit of mine is rearing its ugly head. She's an enemy, but I'm starting to feel for her, even though I know from my experiences in the future how much pain this can bring. It's all right. Thank you for worrying. Memoria was worried about you, weren't you? Don't know. It's a feeling that's not in Memoria's memories. I see, but I'm sure you're a nice girl. I place my hand on her head. Memoria likes that. More. Her back straightens as she presses me to pat her head more. I oblige, and she lets out a sigh of satisfaction. Looking at her like this makes me feel calm. We were fighting just now. It's like she took to me in a second. I don't feel a milliliter of enmity coming from her anymore. So further ordered her to take memories. Is that really the only reason why Memoria wants to take my memories? It's not like she really feels any enmity towards me. She's like a blank piece of paper. Not evil or righteous, and not stained with any color. A doll that moves once commands are written into her. I guess defeating Memoria really has no meaning. One thing I did find out. This attack was also carried out in accordance with Father's will. The life sage Crandall D-Star. Even if Memoria is gone, he'll just continue attacking using other pawns. So what I should do now? Memoria, want to make a deal with me? What is it? You don't want Father to get mad at you, but I don't want you to take my memories. So, I look into Memoria's puzzled eyes. Let me meet Father. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 57, Introducing Memoria. So, this is Memoria, lost memory of the 12 sages. Nice to meet you. It's the morning after Memoria's attack, and I'm introducing her to everyone in the lounge of the Scarlet Mansion. They're all stunned. Everyone's eyes are on Memoria, who is sitting quietly on a chair without moving. If she didn't blink, she could very well pass for a doll. She's not a threat without her invocation item. But, what is the meaning of this? What? Even Lord Scarlet, who I told beforehand I captured Memoria, doesn't seem able to keep up. After a bit, Elle composes herself, and approaches Memoria while smiling and without anything resembling caution. So you're Memoria? I'm Eluna. Nice to meet you. Yes, it is nice. Elle something. No. Elle, why are you accepting this like it's normal? Labraze immediately presses L. But Crom said it's alright, so it's fine, right? It's always been like that. If Crom trusts Memoria, I trust her too. Well, it's not like I don't not distrust Crom. Which one is it? But 12 sages. The dangerous group that's the strongest in the world? Are you sure about this? She might blow up if you touch her or something. You're spreading awful rumors about the 12 sages. HN. But is she really one of the 12 sages? Big Brother Crom? I don't see how a kid like her can use the greatest memory magic in the world, asks Lisbelle in her nice girl mode. It's a fair question. But then again, it's not like I can have Memoria use magic to prove she really is one of the 12 sages. Memoria, is there anything you can do to prove you're one of the 12 sages? Yes, says Memoria while looking directly at Lisbelle. Liz something. Yes. What is it, Miss Memoria? Lisbelle responds with her nice girl smile, and Memoria pokes her with one finger. You were to bed until last year. You still can't go to the toilet alone at night. Full of sadness. This is my Lisbelle is jumping at Memoria like she snapped. See, calm down, Lisbelle. Out of my way, Big Brother. I'll kill that. She looks serious. I don't really understand what's going on, but it sounds like Lisbelle's dark history is being exposed. That's right. She manipulated Lisbelle's memories, so she must have seen them. I see. So she really is the memory sage. What a terrifying power. There was a bit of trouble, but thanks to Lisbelle's valiant sacrifice, everyone now believes Memoria is one of the 12 sages, and we managed to calm Lisbelle down somehow. But why is one of the 12 sages in our home? Asks Labraze, who doesn't know the whole story, and Memoria answers. Memoria came here to attack the mansion. Attack? The purpose of this attack was to remove memories that are inconvenient to the Sorcerer Association, and take Crom Chronogate's memories. Further wants to eliminate Crom, since he is in the way of the project to create Demon Kings. By taking his memories, Kronegate would become powerless and we would acquire knowledge and techniques related to his magic. Is it alright to talk about these things? Probably not. Yes, noted. I think it's too late for that. Well, I think I more or less understand what's going on. Little Memoria told us everything. So Liz's memories were manipulated by her? Lizbel glares at Memoria with mixed feelings in her expression. Fine. If it was your doing, hurry up and fix Liz's memories. It's awful how Big Brother's face has been stuck inside Liz's head since yesterday. It even showed up in Liz's dreams. Of course, Liz won't force you. The magic in Liz something is already gone. Memoria made it so the memories would go back to normal after a while, so as not to leave any evidence. Strange. Why doesn't Kronegate's face leave your mind? Wah. Lizbel's face is visibly turning red. Kill. Liz really does need to kill this thing. Calm down, Lizbel. We managed to hold down the enraged Lizbel. It appears Memoria is horribly incompatible with Lizbel, who has a lot of secrets. But after a while, Memoria, don't eat that ice cream too fast, or Elle tries to warn Memoria. Your head will hurt. I guess I was too late. Other people's memories weren't like this. Their heads didn't hurt, but it tastes better than in the memories. Memoria exhales with satisfaction, as she holds a cup of ice cream in her hand. Despite everything, she's getting along with everyone. With Memoria in the corner of my eye, I peek over at Lord Scarlet. But Mr. Krom, was there any purpose in saving one of the 12 sages? He asks quietly. Surely you know that girl is not safe. Even if she does not see us as enemies, she cannot go against the orders of that father, Cradle D Star. Not to mention that she can manipulate memories. It would be too dangerous to simply leave her be. I cannot turn a blind eye to something that is a looming threat to my daughters in this house. That concern is valid. It's true. As things stand, Memoria is nothing more than Cradle's doll. The safer and more logical option would be to kill her. But still, my victory condition is to save everything, I say while looking directly into Lord Scarlet's eyes. In my previous life, I couldn't save anything, so this time I won't give up on anything I want to save. Even if it's illogical, save everything. I don't want to go against that feeling. You are very kind. You remind me of my late wife. Lord Scarlet squints for a second, looking nostalgic. But that kindness can become a fatal flaw. And it becomes worse the more evil your opponent is. The light in his eyes turns into flames of anger. I'm sure he has his own battles and tales. I understand. People become weaker the more they have to protect. That has brought me pain too. But it's fine if it's just me. This time, I took a risk and involved other people. And I have to take the appropriate responsibility. So, I'm going to beat the life sage Cradle D Star. If I do that, Memoria won't be dangerous anymore. I proposed something to Memoria last night. That she didn't have to take my memories. She just had to take me to the Sorcerer Association instead. That way, my knowledge and techniques will become Cradle's. Of course, that's a lie. It's all a lie to get me closer to Cradle. But all our problems will be solved if I defeat him. Memoria will be released from his control, and the Scarlet Mansion won't be threatened anymore. Are you sure about this? You defeated one of the 12 sages, but Cradle is the 4th seat. He is on a whole other level. Don't worry. I intended to defeat Cradle the moment I arrived here in the capital. Apparently my attitude shows I'm very serious about this. How much did you plan ahead? Lord Scarlet is dumbfounded. And then, Kronegate. Memoria walks my way with a crown of blue flowers on her head. Elle something gave Memoria this. It's pretty. It smells good. Memoria is happy. You like it? Her face is still emotionless, but she's clearly excited, as she hops around. I pat her pale face. More. She hops and stretches her back, asking for more. How do I put this? She's kind of charming to watch. Everyone is so nice. There are a lot of happy memories here. But she looks somewhat sad. It will all be forgotten after a while. Memoria doesn't want to forget. This is probably a first for her, because her memory is periodically reset by order of father. Do you like father? Don't know. Memoria is father's doll. Memoria lives for father, and will die for father. That's the only way. Memoria knows how to live, so it really isn't affection, it's dependence. That's part of the reason why Cradle resets her memories, so she forgets how to live and depends on him. And part of the reason why I introduced Memoria to everyone was to cut that dependence to Cradle. It's alright, Memoria. I smile at her to reassure her. She gets happy at the slightest bit of kindness towards her. I'm sure she doesn't know kindness, happiness, or warmth. It's all forgotten. But if she doesn't want to forget those happy memories, I'll talk to father and make sure you don't have to forget anymore. Really? Yes. Just leave it to me. My mind is made up, and now all that's left is to go where Cradle is. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 58, The Mage Tower. Father is here, says Memoria, who brought me to a tower of the Sorcerer Association that stands tall in the eastern district of Ind. This thick cylindrical stone tower is particularly tall even here in the capital. A smoke with a chemical smell oozes out its vents, and the vibrations of the giant machinery operating inside can be felt just by standing in front of the tower. So I really do have to infiltrate this place. Technically, the Sorcerer Association hasn't done anything yet, so if I forcefully invade it, I will be accused of committing a crime. It was a good idea to disguise myself, I think. As I look at myself, I'm wearing the questionable robe and mask of the Sorcerer Association. It's something I asked from Nekoko yesterday before she left. I asked for them because I figured I was going to break into the Sorcerer Association's tower, but I guess because I'm treated like a VIP, it was supplied to me very quickly. Also, I paid the monthly fee to have Nekoko put her VIP smell on Memoria too. For Catscythe, smell is a way to keep records, so now I can find out where Memoria is even if she runs away. But I didn't tell Nekoko about Memoria being one of the 12 sages or anything like that. Attaching the smell on multiple girls. Nyan. Are you cheating, Nyan? I have 3 hush money plans available for you, Nyan. So I had to pay an additional fee as she looked at me with disgust in her eyes. Aren't we going in? Says Memoria while pulling my sleeve. Sorry. Yes. We can't just hang around in front of the tower forever. And so, we make our way to the entrance. I say entrance, but there isn't a door or anything. There are just 2 people standing in front of it like they're the tower's gatekeepers. And behind them, there's nothing more than a stone wall. Oh, one of the 12 sages? The mages see Memoria, and rush to kneel on the ground like they're falling prostrate. She usually uses memory obstruction, but it looks like she lets the mages guarding the tower remember her. Otherwise she wouldn't get in. We want to go in. Why yes. Then as always, say the password and use the magic lock, and the door will be made for you. Password. Magic lock. Memoria tilts her head. I get a bad feeling about it, and it turns out to be exactly right. Forgot. Tell Memoria about it. No. We can't. Things have gotten complicated before we even made it inside. The gatekeepers are looking at me like they're asking for help. Are you her attendant? Can you make the door instead? No. This is CH. Yes, an attendant. Really? Memoria tilts her head slightly. It's no good. She really isn't suited for infiltration. I walk towards the wall while pretending to be calm, as I'm at my wit's end on the inside. A certain procedure is necessary to get inside the tower, releasing a magic lock while chanting a password with the right intonation. Obviously, this is all a secret, but I was a part of the Sorcerer Association 100 years in the future. I already know this. I am one who wishes to be consumed by a demon. I follow the correct sequence as I place my hand on the wall and send magic energy into it. The stones on the wall start turning and rearranging, and eventually a large entrance appears in front of me. Wow. How did you know how to open it? Is that strange? No, let's just go in. I mean, let us go inside. I push a confused Memoria's back as we enter the tower. What we see is what feels like a dimly lit library. The walls lined up with books feel kind of mystical, as the blue light of the floating magic stone lanterns illuminate them with a blue light. This way, says Memoria while stepping on a spiral staircase near a wall. Does this lead to where Father, Cradle D Star is? We don't really seem suspicious, Do we? Mages drag along their black clothes as they walk around like ghosts, but no one even reacts when we pass by them. Are they all completely immersed in their own research? Do they just have no interest in other people? In any case, it doesn't look like anyone's noticed that I've infiltrated this place under a disguise. Here, we go up the spiral staircase for a while, and Memoria stops on the highest floor of the tower. We enter the only room here, and we are greeted by a stuffy damp air that stinks of chemicals. Is this Cradle D Star's room? It's like an alchemist's laboratory. There are test tubes and flasks with chemicals of all sorts of colors on the shelf, and what looks like parts of living beings float in cultivation tanks near the wall. It feels like a typical room for a researcher like Cradle D Star, but it looks like the room's occupant isn't here. Yes, but he'll probably be back soon. Then I guess we'll wait. There is another reason why I came here to the Sorcerer Association's tower, so I might as well take care of that. Here they are. I look around the room, and quickly find what I was looking for. A bunch of test tubes and flasks with a pale blue liquid inside them. All of them have a label with Code of the Sorcerer Association written on them. Demon King cells, they say. The core of the project to create Demon Kings. This pale blue liquid was what birthed Demon Kings one after the other and led the world in the future to its destruction. They're making this right in the middle of the capital. No, it's not that strange in this era. Not many people know what this is at this point. It's probably better hidden this way than if they were being sneaky about it. If I eliminate Demon King cells from this world, at the very least, no more artificial Demon Kings should be born. Demon King cells are still being researched in this era, so I doubt they're being mass-produced. Also, there isn't even ash left of the 2 Demon Kings that were born and destroyed in this era. There is no way to produce new Demon King cells besides cultivating these ones here. So, is this a turning point? If these Demon King cells are destroyed, we will take a huge leap away from that ruined future. My heart starts beating faster. I reach towards that pale blue liquid while trying to calm myself. Do you know what that is? I feel a sinister presence behind me, like my heart was caressed by a cold hand. I turn around quickly and grab the handle of my sword, but can't seem to find who said that. I didn't even feel anyone entering the room. No, wait, could it be? I look towards one of the cultivation tanks. There are parts of living beings floating in it, among which is an eyeball that meets my gaze. Father Memoria looks at it, and her shoulders tremble a little. Now I'm sure of it. Yes, I apologize for being in this joyous form. I was right in the middle of dissecting myself. Say the human body parts from inside the cultivation tank. Lumps of meat gather in the cultivation tank like they're swimming, and form one body while pulsating. And then, what comes out of the cultivation tank is a man that looks like a corpse. His pasty skin that looks like it was sewn together starts to change shape, and forms a black outfit that looks like mourning clothing. It's my first time meeting him like this, but there is no doubt about it. This is the 4th seat of the 12 sages, the life sage Cradle D Star. The man behind the destruction of the world in the future. The man at the center of the project to create Demon Kings, and the genius life mage conducting research on Demon King cells. My enemy, who destroyed all mana in my previous life, is right here. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 59, Life Sage Cradle D Star. The man behind the destruction of the world in the future. The man at the center of the project to create Demon Kings, and the genius life mage conducting research on Demon King cells. My enemy, who destroyed all mana in my previous life, is right here. Well, what is the meaning of this? Memoria. Father Memoria walks towards him, clearly not sensing any danger. Don't go, Memoria. I have a bad feeling about this, and try to stop her, but I'm too late. Memoria didn't take Chronagate's memories, but there is something even better. Chronagate said he'll be Father's ally. That way there's no need to take away memories, and everyone is happy. A dull noise echoes. I don't understand what it is at first, but when I see Memoria on the floor, I get it. Cradle knocked Memoria down. The flower crown she had on her head falls to the ground. I'm about to reach out and pick her up, but before I can, She is stomped by Cradle. Father, do you understand why you were hit? Memoria. And Memoria failed her duty, and was a bad girl. No. Wrong. You're not a bad girl. Everyone can fail. That is most definitely not a bad thing. I even forgive you for letting Cronagate deceive you and letting him convince you to bring him to our base. So why did I hit you? Cradle says while kicking her. It was simply because I get joy from it. That's why I hit you. That's why I kicked you. Parents should discipline their children. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. You did nothing wrong. I am in the wrong for being needlessly violent. It's absurd, so irrational. I can't help but feel sorry for you as you tremble in pain. And yet I hit you. And yet I kicked you. Father. That's what Memoria calls this man. But the way Cradle looks at Memoria, he's just looking at a doll. He raises his hand again, but stop. I can't stand here and watch, so I step in. Cradle's dead. Muddy eyes look all over me. Nice to meet you. Are you Cronagate? And you're Cradle D-Star. You know me? Yes, very well. You're a survivor of the Angel Sisters, Elmina, project, and the leader of the project to create Demon Kings. The genius life mage who researches Demon King cells and formulated the theory to create Demon Kings. You create Demon Kings because your dream is to evolve this world into one ruled by chosen mages and Demon Kings. Kaku. You do know me well. As usual, you know too much. It's as though you have seen the future. You really are a very interesting sample, says Cradle with no shame, and not trying to deny anything. But I will make one correction. I don't care about making the world evolve or anything of the sort. What? Evolve? Ruled by chosen mages? Worthless. That is a false ideal, a bad ideal. You can reach the same conclusion if you apply some common sense. But then why help with creating Demon Kings? Isn't it obvious? I am committing this sin out of joy. I freeze without thinking. I don't get it. Maybe I just don't want to get it. Creating Demon Kings and destroying the world. That's bad. It's wrong. Completely illogical. It would cause many to be unhappy. It would draw a lot of resentment. Only a void awaits after the world has been destroyed. I'm sure I will lament my foolishness after I have destroyed the world, and feel a lot of regret over it. Cradle's eyes become moist with something like mud, and an ecstatic smile forms on his face. Isn't it joyful? I'm speechless. I don't get it. And that's the reason why why you destroyed my hometown in my previous life. Why you killed Mr. Sirius, and Miss Raina. Why you destroyed our future. Fufu, don't make such a scary face. It's exciting, isn't it? The corners of Cradle's mouth are raised like a clay doll's. Boy, I will teach you about evil. I'm evil. The opposite of justice isn't another kind of justice or anything of the sort. An evil in this world that simply shouldn't exist. Not for justice, aesthetic, or beliefs. Someone who plays with life simply out of pure joy and feels no shame about it. I'm evil, whichever way you look at it. So, did that teach you a little about the world? I can't understand. The more I hear, the less I understand. My head hurts, and I feel like throwing up. But I don't need to understand. I'll never see eye to eye with him. That I understand. So, yes, I will end you here. I unsheathe my sword as I walk towards Cradle. I'm not hesitating anymore. I need to end him before he can cause any more sorrow. But Cradle retains his composure and his smile. End? No, this is where I begin. I stop. No. The immense magic energy coming up from behind me stops me. The intense magic energy is enough to blow me away. I quickly jump out of the way, and raise my head. At the source of this magic energy, is Memoria. Yuku. It hurts, father. She's writhing on the ground and holding her head, and her body is releasing an abnormal amount of magic energy for a person. What? I don't understand. But I have a bad feeling about this. My instincts are telling me this is bad. Memoria. I reach out to her, but then a large amount of blank pages are released from her body, like an explosion. Memory-eating pages swirl around as they overrun the room, and bricks fly out of the walls and ceiling. I can't get close to her at this point. Time. Stop. I designate an area and activate a stoppage formula. An area where time is stopped forms around me, in the shape of a dome. and paper sticks to it as their time is stopped. Damn. What is this power? There's a lot more paper than last night. I can't even move with all this stopped paper surrounding me. It doesn't look like Memoria has her invocation item. Her book. It doesn't even look like she's formulating anything. Manipulating the logic of the world according to her will. This isn't magic anymore. It's sorcery. Can it be? I look at Cradle. His mouth is still twisted into a smile. Did you turn Memoria into a demon king? Cradle, turned into a demon king? What a joyous thing to ask. Do you think I wouldn't do something so sad? It must have been when he hit her. That's when he planted those demon king cells in her. He realized I defeated her and came here to take him down, and used Memoria's life as a betting chip to get out of a hopeless situation. And that bet was a success. Memoria lost memory of the 12 sages. That's the name of a girl who became a demon king in my previous life. That means Memoria has what it takes to become a demon king. Memoria. Memoria sinks to the floor and screams in anguish. It looks like the power of a demon king is too much for her to bear. The transformation is still progressing, and magic energy is still being released from her body. Even if I want to get close, the blank papers block my way. Their numbers keep increasing, and they encircle me, burying me. It was a mistake to protect myself with this time stoppage technique. If there was a best option, it must have been to accelerate and kill Memoria. Aren't you nice? You had plenty of opportunities to kill Memoria, but you ended up becoming emotionally attached to an enemy you just met. No one can save you if you're that nice. A tremendous amount of memory pages soar from the capital, and are sucked towards Memoria. Eventually, these pages form what looks like a white sacred veil, and giant white wings. Memoria flutters these wings, and spreads memory pages. She's like a pure white angel. Yes, as I'm being buried in white paper, I remember this angel's name. The fourth demon king, White Paper Angel, lost memory. A new calamity has been born into this world. Join my Patreon to support me. Chapter 60, Castle of Memories. The Goddess Calendar, 21st day of the 4th month of the year 1200. 10 after 10 in morning. That was when everyone in the capital was astonished as they looked up at the sky. Everyone's sights were on the majestic white castle floating in the sky. What looked like white pages flew out of the bodies of the people on the ground, and the white castle continued to grow as it sucked them in. What is that? A castle. What is going on? Labrys and Lisbo, who were still in the Scarlet Mansion, looked up at the sky from a balcony in awe. Paper fell from their bodies and was sucked into the castle, and as it did, their memories gradually began to fade. Where am I? Who am I? What was I doing? Mom, Dad, Maid spat out memory pages and stood in place with blank looks on their faces, like blank pieces of paper. Younger people and people with less magic resistance were rapidly losing their memories. Everyone, go back inside. It's no good. Even inside the mansion, our memories. What happened to them? Is it bypassing the barrier and obstructions? Such a technique. Damn it. I don't know what I was talking about, groaned Lord Scarlet, as memory pages fell from him. If this was happening in the Scarlet Mansion, where most people were very good with magic, the chaos in town must have been much worse. It all felt so unreal. But Labrys did see a being capable of creating such a spectacle one time. Demon King. Someone whispered next to her. Labrys turned to look, and saw a silver-haired girl. She was the only person present who was not releasing memory pages, and her cold eyes glared at the sky. Another birth that defies the logic of fate. Is Kronagate meddling with history after all? Labrys felt she looked like someone, but could not remember who anymore. If she tried to think of something, she would forget it immediately. It was taking her longer and longer to remember even small things. This is bad. At this rate, she would forget everything. She felt she had to focus on controlling her magic energy, and leave at least some record. But as she tried to resist, she forgot to resist. She forgot why she was resisting. From there, it happened in an instant. Labrys forgot magic. She forgot about swords. She forgot how to fight. Labrys forgot what she was doing. Labrys forgot how to speak. Labrys forgot how to walk. Labrys forgot how to stand. No, Labrys forgot her dreams. Labrys forgot her hopes. Labrys forgot despair. Labrys forgot love. Labrys forgot courage. Labrys forgot friendship. Labrys forgot hatred. Labrys forgot knowledge. Labrys forgot her techniques. Labrys forgot intelligence. Labrys forgot kindness. Labrys forgot joy. Labrys forgot anger. Labrys forgot sadness. Labrys forgot fun. Labrys forgot her family. Labrys forgot her friends. Labrys forgot when she was. Labrys forgot where she was. Labrys forgot who she was. And then, Labrys forgot she forgot. Memory pages that fell from her body soared up into the castle in the sky. As she became a blank piece of paper, Labrys crumbled to the ground and listlessly watched it happen. She had no idea what those pieces of paper were anymore. Paper, wind, the sky, the mansion, the castle, people. She couldn't remember a single thing she was seeing. And then, suddenly, some of the paper stopped in the air, and created a path to the castle in the sky. Someone ran up this white paper path, and Labrys could see that very well with her great vision. Who? She didn't know, but somehow felt this wasn't her first time seeing this person. In her memories that were painted over with white, that boy faintly remained. She figured he must have been important. Although she remembered almost nothing, looking at him made her feel a little warm. For some reason, she believed he could do something about this desperate situation. A small smile formed on Labrys' face, as she completely lost her memories. That's Memoria's attack stops, and I managed to escape the white papers. What I see after this are pages being sucked up from all over the capital and into the sky. And they're all headed to the white paper castle in the sky. A castle of memories? That's something I also saw in my previous life. It's the magic dungeon of the white paper angel Memoria, and its difficulty is unknown. No one who went there and came back remembered it. Is it trying to collect all the memories in the capital along with mine? That's a safe assumption. Magic can't really reach that castle high in the sky, and I can't use my time magic to fly. Maybe it's because this magic is being used indiscriminately and covering a wide range, but I can still resist it. But, if memories keep being sucked from outside of my range, it's only a matter of time until I lose mine. Memoria. I'm sure she's in that castle. It really makes it feel like she's become a demon king. Am I going to fail to save her again? I feel like I went through this again and again and again in my previous life. I failed again. Maybe it was a mistake to even try to save Memoria. It probably wouldn't have turned out like this if I managed to cut her down. In the end, you can't save someone with kindness alone. It's impossible to save someone without rightfully cutting someone down. But still. I pick up Memoria's flower crown from the ground covered in rubble. It's pretty. It smells good. Memoria is happy. Everyone is so nice. There are a lot of happy memories here. Memoria doesn't want to forget. She was a nice girl. A girl that should be happy. I really wanted to save her. So, even if it's foolish, and even if it's a mistake, I'm not going to quit. It hasn't been very long since her transformation into a demon king, so I should be able to undo it if I act now. The memories stolen from people in the capital might return too, so even if it's a bad bet, I'm going to save everything. I scream in my heart. If I was the type of person to give up easily, I wouldn't have struggled so hard for 100 years despite my lack of talent. I wouldn't have thought to go back to the past and fix everything. I reach out towards that castle of memories far up in the sky. Memoria is there, but I can't fly, so I can't reach it. Then, I have to make a path. Release resistance. I stop resisting the memory manipulation, and memory pages fly from my body and towards the castle. I target those pages and chant, time, stop. The pages going up to the castle make a path. I spent some memories, but I have 100 years worth of them, so I can still fight even if I lose a few. I'm coming, Memoria. I step on the path of memories, and run towards the castle in the sky. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 61. Memory Trial. After entering the castle of memories, I see a wide space that looks like a white art gallery. White floor, white walls, white ceiling. There are frames dotting the walls, and inside them, people's memories are shown. This has become something like another dimension. It's much more spacious than it looked from the outside, and even the air clearly feels different. The floor, the walls, the ceiling. Is it all memory pages? This entire castle looks like an instant death trap that will suck my memories if I touch it. Even just walking a few steps seems like it would lead to some memory loss. In a way, it's just like a dungeon. Once you're in, it eats away memories until you're left wandering around until you die. But I have a plan. Time. Stop. I stop the time of the floor, and walk forward. I can't hang around here for too long. If I turn into a Demon King, I should still be able to restore Memoria and everyone's memories back to normal. Turning into a Demon King means transforming temporarily into what I was in the future. Doing it on the surface could risk destroying the town with the after effects of the transformation, so I can't do it carelessly. But it should be fine up here in the castle, and with the power of a Demon King, I should be able to undo Memoria's Demon King transformation, and return the stolen memories to their rightful owners. But this is my trump card. Going by the last time I transformed, I should be able to maintain it for a few minutes, but any more than that, and I won't be able to control that power and I'll risk being stuck in that form. Also, I can't do it many times in a row, and the recoil of transforming into a Demon King will leave me weakened for a few days. Meaning it's risky for me to suddenly turn into a Demon King here. It would be easy to destroy the entire castle of memories, but undoing someone else's Demon King transformation is pretty difficult. I need to blast that person with magic at close range, and so, I have to find Memoria first. If I transform now, I'll run out of time while looking for her, and my weakened body will lose all its memories here. At any rate, all I can do now is move forward, and so I do, until the hallway ends. Doors? There are 2 doors. No. They look more like door-sized leather book covers buried on the wall. Words are foil stamped with gold on the doors, like their book titles. They are Heaven and Hell. Is it telling me to pick between heaven-like memories and hell-like memories? Is this like a dungeon trial? Heaven or hell? It's pretty obvious what I'll pick. I put my hand on the hell door without hesitating. I'm used to pain, but I'm not used to pleasure. Also, pleasure is what leads people to ruin. Pain you just have to bear, but pleasure is addictive and hard to escape from. I open the hell door, and a bright light assaults my eyes. I have to close them as I am engulfed in this world of white light. When I open my eyes, it's not the white space that's in front of me anymore. It's a field of flowers on a hill, painted by the evening glow. The wind makes petals fly, and it caresses my face. It feels realistic, and not at all like a dream or an illusion. I move my eyes, and see Almina below the hill. And next to me is What's Wrong, Crom? I've seen all this recently. Is it? I look at the clock tower, and see it's exactly 6 in the afternoon. The bell of the clock tower rings loudly. The spring breeze gently envelops us and swirls, making flower petals dance in the air. It's like a page taken out of any regular peaceful day. There's no mistaking it, and it's unforgettable. I see. This is a world created by my memories. That means that what happens next is Kaya. Suddenly, the ground shakes violently, like it's exploding. The tremor sends petals flying everywhere, and little birds scramble to get away. And then, thousands of monsters appear, charging towards Almina. The town. At this rate, it's like the end of the world. Elle is frozen in place, before she seemingly snaps out of it and raises her voice. I have to go save everyone. Elle runs forward alone. I try to grab her, but I'm too late. She looks smaller and smaller as she gets further away from me. And then, in this twilight world painted in red, those squirming black shadows engulf that small girl, and the entire town. I couldn't fight. I saw it. The Demon King. My knees are shaking so much I can't stand up, and my hands are trembling so much I can't hold a sword. Petals dance and fall like sparks in this burning town. The Moonheart residence filled with memories is trampled, and the clock tower, the symbol of this town, is set ablaze as it slowly collapses. A special power doesn't awaken in me like the heroes I admired in the stories I read. All I can do is stand and watch from the field of flowers on the hill. Kinku. I'm nauseous and press my mouth, as I feel like I'm about to throw up. I break out in a cold sweat. I can't control my breathing. I feel dizzy. I feel like I'm going crazy. It hurts. It's scary. I want to run away. I see. Is this the trial? I've had nightmares about this many times, but this feels a lot more real. I'm not just made to watch that again. That despair, that sadness, that pain. I'm being made to experience all that again. Even emotions I forgot. Everything. Not only that, there's nothing I can do. I can't change them from here, and I can't run away from them. It's a memory-based attack. This is harsher than I expected. This attack causes more damage the worse someone's past is. It's really awful for me. Eventually, the world is filled with a white light again, and the scenery in front of me changes like a page of a book being turned. What appears next is a burning town. Flames fall from the sky like cherry blossoms. Everything these beautiful petals touch gets enveloped in an undying fire, until they turn to ash. I'm in the middle of this beautiful hell. I stab a demon king's chest with my sword. Labrys, my childhood friend who I promised I would save. And I killed. Labrys' body heat slowly disappearing in my arms. The smell of blood that almost makes me throw up, the feeling of piercing her chest. It's all vividly recreated. Hot air burns my throat, and I cough blood. An intense pain runs through my entire body like it's being burned. And then, what are you doing? I turn around, and see the phoenix flag of the Scarlet Chivalric Order fluttering. These knights fought for humanity in the future, after the fall of the Kingdom of Historia. Their leader, Lisbo, walks forward staggeringly and with a shocked look on her face. Her eyes are fixated on Labrys, who is lying in a pool of blood. And my sword that's dripping blood. How dare you? My big sister Labrys, Lisbo, who would one day become a hero of mankind, points her spear with the phoenix flag attached at me. I'll kill you with my own hands, you monster. The knights protecting mankind point their weapons at me. Why? I just wanted to protect everyone. And yet, people's eyes only show fear and hatred when they look at me. I look at my reflection in the pool of blood. Is it because I took in more Demon King cells before the battle started? My appearance is already starting to change. This is my first memory from when I started to become an enemy of mankind. And then, the memory pages turn again. What appears next is a memory I don't know. Is this my memory? I can't remember. Ruins of a town, where white pages fall quietly like snow. In the middle of this town, a girl with white wings holds her knees and cries. I know who she is. White paper angel Memoria. My memories with her that I forgot are right in front of me. Chapter 62, Memories of the Future. What are these memories? Ruins of a town, where white pages fall quietly like snow, and there, a girl with white wings holds her knees and cries. I know who she is. White paper angel Memoria. My memories with her that I forgot are right in front of me. Who? The pale girl lifts her head. Her emerald eyes are wet with tears, and reflected in them is me, with half my hair white. This is probably me, after I showed my power by taking down Labrys single-handedly and becoming the lowest seat of the 12 sages. I walk towards the girl with an unsheathed sword in my hand. Will you kill me? That was my intention. I smile awkwardly, despite not wanting to. Apparently I've become pretty much one with the me in my memories. You destroyed the future and brought sadness to a lot of people. So I'm sure killing you here is the right thing to do. Then. But you're crying. I know it's a bad habit of mine. I put my sword back in its sheath, and instead reach out to the girl. Will you come with me? I'm sure we won't be lonely together. I'm probably lonely too. I lost the people I cared about, turned into something everyone calls a monster, and yet continued to fight alone. You're strange. The girl blinks rapidly, as she alternates between looking at my hand and my face. But everyone forgets about Memoria. Yes. I think I'll forget you soon too, and I'm not strong enough to promise I can make you happy. No good. Yes, but still, I can promise you one thing. Promise. No matter how many times I forget, I'll remember again. I will always find you, so come live with me." And then, we join hands. I bring Memoria to my laboratory, give her clothes, and a warm meal. I leave memos all over the place, so I will remember her right away if I do forget, and I start keeping a diary too. Because of this, my laboratory is always filled with paper. Do you know memory techniques? The method of loci is popular, but most of the time, forgetting means being unable to remember, and the memory is left somewhere in one's head. So the most important thing is to create triggers to remember. Memoria also begins to train her memory using triggers. Memory is actually less reliant on talent than one might expect. That's probably why I'm so good at it, and managed to train myself to the point where I can memorize a book in 3 minutes. But one time, Memoria asked me, "Why do you try so hard? You could just forget me. You even forget you forgot, so it's not a problem. You're a nice girl." I pat her head. "But I don't like giving up. I know I'm weak and don't have the power to save anyone, but still, if I can save you, that will save me a little too." In these days when I'm with Memoria, I still run around on battlefields. "Are you all right? You're all tattered." "Yes, I'm used to this much. Also, I'll destroy all the demon kings soon, and put an end to this fighting. Then we can both live in peace." HN. But that wish doesn't come true. The fighting just keeps intensifying. More demon kings continue to appear, and the future is on a straight path to destruction. I continue to slowly take in more demon king cells, and facing the enemies in my way. Any more demon king cells would be dangerous. But I have to become strong so I don't have to lose anyone, or make anyone cry. The future is headed for ruin, and I keep getting stronger and becoming more like a monster. And I have been fighting the demon kings that keep appearing. Ancestral Dragon Viperas, Ultimate Life Form Multi-Meld, Holy Angel Serenade, Black Death Butterfly Historia, Sky King Sphere Note, Giant Godly Stronghold Turja, Angel of the End Fin Ram, 100-Eyed King Aivi, Absolute Zero Princess Frostfield, Dream Hallway Night Gate, Death Eater Bug Urinome, Mirage Dragon Traumrai, Dust King Kaio, Meandering God Doland, Toxic Queen Zeritz, Swirling Wind Pazuzu, Pillaging King Crow, Keeper Twins Lu and Lu, Calamity Princess Desire, Infinite Changing Road Scherzo, Cosmos Dragon Ballfoot, Spirit King Oratorius, Giant Stone God Almakina, Goddess of the Underworld Hannah. I fight, 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 I fight. I shed a lot of tears, vomit a lot of blood, break many taboo, and yet I don't protect anyone. I didn't get strong in time. I didn't make it in time to save them. My outstretched hand will never reach anyone. It's like a curse. It's your fault, monster. If only you weren't here, monster. You destroyed everything. Monster. Everyone I save fears me. Some even try to kill me out of hatred. But still, I want to save someone, just like the heroes I admired when I was younger, just like the people that taught me kindness. And as I keep trying to become strong, history's strongest calamity, Space-Time King Chronogate, I become the world's most feared demon king, a being that spreads ruin around him just by existing. Originally, I didn't have the aptitude to control a demon king's power, and yet, I took in too many demon king cells, rendering me unable to perfectly control them. Why is this power? This isn't why. I became strong. From atop a stopped clock tower, I looked down at the ruined world. The world I ruined. I finally have the power to protect everything, and yet, why? Nothing's left. Why did I destroy the world? I failed, and keep failing. I tried to save everything, and saved no one. Memoria. I couldn't become a hero. Mr. Crom. Only Memoria and I are left in this world. Memoria always followed me, despite what I became. I'm sure it's thanks to her that I didn't lose my mind. But I didn't want to show her this future. I wanted her to have a normal life. I wanted to give her a lot more happy memories. Mr. Crom, it's not over yet. There's still time. Leap, says Memoria with the most cheerful tone she could muster. Yes, Time leap. It's magic we researched together. Magic to send memories back to the past. My magic circuits are connected to the past and future. If I could use these magic circuits to send memories back to the past with Memoria's memory magic, I figured I might be able to change this future. It's the last hope I have left, but I limply shake my head. Number. I've calculated it many times. It all began 100 years ago. And there isn't enough magic energy in the whole world to send 2 people back. I gathered the cores from dungeons all over the world. I absorbed Demon King's magic energy, and stocked up through time, but it still isn't enough. There aren't any other sources of magic energy left. I didn't make it in time again. If I gained power faster, I wouldn't have had to travel as far back, meaning I would need less magic energy. My outstretched hand is always just one step behind. If it won't work with 2 people, how about 1? Is there enough magic energy to send you to the past? No, I won't do that, so it really is possible. Even if it is, redoing the future means making it so this time never happened. If I can't take Memoria with me to the past, that means this Memoria would cease to exist. Memoria would be erased by my own hand. Let's forget about it. Are you giving up? Yes, I'm giving up. If it means erasing Memoria and taking those memories to the past, everything might as well end here. Even if I manage to go back to the past, I can't save anything. I don't think my heart can take it anymore. I'm tired. After 100 years of fighting and losing everything, my spirit is at its limit. My heart was never that strong to begin with, and if I lose Memoria too, I'm sure it will break. I'll destroy the time leap magic circle. We'll live together in peace from now on until the world ends, I say, and turn my back to Memoria. I don't want to see the look on her face. Mr. Crom. She musters up her resolve and stops me. Please forget about me. My memories are hazy from that point on. Before I know it, Memoria is disappearing. Who was I talking to? I forgot about Memoria. I know. I was going to do a time leap. If I gather magic energy from all over the world, I'll have enough. I start making preparations to time leap alone into the past. I gather all the necessary materials, draw a giant magic circle, and then the goddess calendar, 10th day of the 4th month of the year 1300. 5:58 in the afternoon. I'm in the ruins of a cathedral painted by dusk. On the ground covered with broken pieces of stained glass, bluegrass flowers bloom all over. I remember someone liking them, but can't remember who. I stand alone on a magic circle, ready to time leap alone. I finally made it here. I'll take back everything. Starting from that day, I concentrate my magic energy and make it flow into the magic circle. I gathered enough magic energy to time leap one person. I will be able to go back 100 years, to that day. I will be able to go save this world beyond salvation. It's a happy day. The day when I'm starting anew. So why am I crying? I can't hold back my tears. I wipe them and wipe them, but they keep coming. I just stand here crying like a child, not even knowing why. Don't cry anymore, Mr. Crom. This is a new beginning, I hear all of a sudden, and before I know it, a girl is standing in front of me. No, that's wrong. She was with me the whole time. Why did I forget? Memoria? I remember her name, and suddenly, I remember her. You remembered. Why am I going to the past by myself? If I go to the past, this time, you'll be erased by my own hand. I absolutely didn't want that. No, I didn't want this future. I just wanted to save. Even if it was only you. Why yes, let's go to the past together. You said it yourself. Only one person can go. Then we can just live in this time together. That's not good either. Why? Because you're crying, aren't you? The moment she says that, memory pages fly out of my body. I sunk all my magic energy into time leap, so I can't resist it. My memories are being painted white again. No, Memoria. Stop. I don't want to forget. I can finally remember you. I can finally make you smile. Those 100 years were like hell, and I wished many times that I could forget them. But still, that was time I spent with you. If you can stay with me, but I forget what to say next. Her name disappears from my mind. My memories of her, her smile, it all disappears. No, I reach out to her, but before my hand can reach her, the magic circle is done filling with magic energy, and pale lightning starts gushing. The world is painted white. Space-time is collapsing. The scenery in front of me shatters and breaks like glass. This time is turning into something that never existed. The girl in front of me is turning into something that never existed. There is no going back, and no saving her. Mr. Crom. In this world that's ending, the girl smiles affectionately, and gently hugs me. Please save this future. Stop, and please be happy. Stop. I'm sure you're loved by a lot of people. But I don't have to be there. Stop. You're kind, so I'm sure you wouldn't be able to handle these memories. So, if you meet me again, somewhere someday, make sure you forget about me. Stop. I've received enough. Stop. I'm very happy that I met you. Stop. Don't talk to me like this is the end. Doesn't it all start here? Doesn't our happiness start here? Aren't you crying again? I haven't saved you yet, have I? There's still so much I want to tell you. And yet, everything is falling away from my memories, and I can't put it into words. Eventually, the world is painted white. I can't see or hear anything anymore. I failed to save again. In this life, I failed to save a single person right until the very end. Was it a mistake for someone like me to even try? Would it be better if I gave up? Weak, cowardly, just a minor role. If I didn't admire heroes and didn't overextend myself, would this future not have happened? But still, I'm not giving up. I blindly reach out in this world of light. This hand doesn't grab or reach anything. Someone should be there, but I can't remember anymore. But still, I swear, I won't forget these hellish 100 years, and the precious time I spent with you. I swear, no matter how many times I forget, I will remember you. No matter what era I go to, I will find you. I swear, I'm never giving up. I swear, next time, I swear I'll save you. I swear, right at the last moment, I will save everything from here. I won't forget this promise. Even if I do forget it, I won't forget it. I can't forget it. I won't allow myself to forget it. Remember. I chanted that word in my mind over and over and over. Every time you forget, remember. Remember why you cry like this. Remember why you reach out like this. Remember that you need to save someone. And save everything. Even if it's foolish. Even if it's a mistake. Even if it becomes a weakness. I'm sure you're among that everything. So, I'm not abandoning what I want to save. You're an idiot, Mr. Crom. Maybe it was an illusion, but I see it. Just as the world is ending, I see a girl crying and smiling. Those eyes that look like gems ejecting clear drops. And in the end, she smiles and waves. Have a nice trip, Mr. Crom. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. I return to the past to rewrite it as the world's strongest. Chapter 63. The Strongest Enemy. Before I know it, I'm back in the White Art Gallery. I guess I got through the trial, but my head hurts. My memories are in disarray. I can't stop crying. I put my hand on the wall and squat, while trying to catch my breath. Eventually, I faintly whisper. I remember that trauma. That trial made me experience all the pain and sadness I forgot, but thanks to it, I remembered something important too. Yes, Memoria was my partner in my previous life. I didn't accomplish that time leap by myself. That was magic to send memories to the past. We developed it together, and promised we'd go back to the past together. But only one person could time leap, so only I made it back to this time. I can't save that future anymore. I can't save that girl from that future. I didn't save anyone in my previous life. It wouldn't hurt if I forgot. It's true, if Memoria didn't make me forget back then, my heart would probably have broken. But I'm glad I remember. I'm sure I can make it in time now. I have to find Memoria quickly. It's tough, but I get up. This time I will save her, and fulfill that promise from 100 years in the future. I stagger my way deeper into the castle, but when I reach what looks like a pure white dance hall, my legs stop. All of a sudden, memory pages gather in this hall, and take form one after the other. What appears are things I know all too well. The first Demon King, Ancestral Dragon Vibras. The second Demon King, Ultimate Life Form Ultimate. The demon kings I fought recently manifest in front of me again. But it doesn't end there. Sinful Flame Princess Scarlet, Holy Angel Serenade, Black Death Butterfly Historia, Sky King Sphere Note, Giant Godly Stronghold Turja, Hundred-Eyed King Aivi, Absolute Zero Princess Frostfield, Dream Hallway Night Gate, Death Eater Bug Urinome, Mirage Dragon Traumrai, Dust King Kaio, Meandering God Doland, Toxic Queen Zeritz, Swirling Wind Pazuzu, Pillaging King Crow, Keykeeper Twins Lu and Lu, Calamity Princess Desire, Infinite Changing Road Scherzo, Cosmos Dragon Ballfoot, Spirit King Oratorius, Giant Stone God Almakina, Goddess of the Underworld Hannah, Angel of the End Finran. These powerful enemies I met and fought in the future take form in front of me. Is this the next trial? Re-emergence of memories. Fighting powerful beings one met before. If that's the case, it's really bad. I need to get to Memoria quickly. I can tell all the powerful enemies in front of me are just as strong as when I fought them. This is a terrible trial for someone like me, who fought powerful enemies for so long. And if powerful beings are being drawn from my memories and replicated, there's no way he won't be here. Chronos, space-time control, Unos, first hand. A white flash of a sword surges, and with it, all the demon kings are slashed horizontally. They all turn to dust in a second, and what appears from behind them is a solemn-looking demon king holding two transparent swords. Of course, there's no way you wouldn't be here. I know this demon king better than anyone else. The demon king who killed demon kings. History's strongest calamity, who destroyed the world in the future. The last days of the boy who couldn't become a hero. The demon king silently walks forward as his white robe flutters. Destruction ripples from every step he takes. A noise is heard that sounds like the world itself is wailing, as space-time cracks with black lightning and breaks. I break out in cold sweat, and my whole body is trembling. I feel like running away, like giving up. But I still have to press forward. I promised I wouldn't give up anymore. I promised this time I would save everything. I take a deep breath, silently hold up my sword, and face the strongest enemy in history. Let's begin. Space-Time King Chronogate. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 64, White Paper Doll. In the highest floor of the Castle of Memories, the audience hall, pages swirled wildly around a white throne, where the fourth demon king, White Paper Angel Lost Memory, sat holding her knees, and next to her, Joy, Marvelous Memoria. No, Demon King Lost Memory. You are my greatest creation, my greatest weapon. Cradle laughed loudly as he looked down at the capital through a window. Look, it's incredible. The world is like trash. I feel as though I have become God. Success. A huge success. I finally have a demon king under my command, and no one can stand against me. The whole world is my toy. It was the first time Father had complimented her. He was happy with her. That was the entire reason for Memoria's existence, and yet, for some reason, her heart was unmoved. That Chronogate isn't going to make it here. Suck up his memories along with the entire world's. Demon King Lost Memory. Memoria couldn't disobey orders. She forgot about the idea of going against orders itself. Life Sage Crandall D-Star. The brainwashing he used to control and play with all sorts of living organisms worked even if one became a demon king. Memoria's eyes remained hollow, as she scooped up memory pages even faster, despite that not being what she wanted. The memories of the people of the capital flowed to her through these memory pages. Happy memories, memories of despair, memories of pain. Her mind was becoming a mess. It's scary, it's dark, it's cold. But she couldn't control this power by her own will. She asked herself how it came to this. All she wanted was to be loved. That's kids a homunculus, right? A failed creation of the Elmina project. Is she good with memory magic? Creepy. She was born from a flask, and hated the moment she was born. The biggest masterpiece of the Life Sage Crandall D-Star, a living technique. Memory magic. Missing memory. Memoria lost memory. This talent for memory manipulation that went beyond something a human could do put fear in others. No one loved her, including her own creator, Cradle. You are Memoria lost memory. my doll, was what she heard when she was born. You live for me, and you will die for me. Forget everything that isn't useful for me. Answer to me only with yes, were the orders she was given. She forgot dreams. She forgot hopes. She forgot despair. She forgot love. She forgot courage. She forgot friendship. She forgot hatred. She forgot kindness. She forgot happiness. She forgot anger. She forgot sadness. She forgot fun. She forgot any other way to live. And then, she forgot her own heart. The girl that turned into a blank piece of paper became the memory disposal of the Sorcerer Association. She obeyed orders, and made people forget. What did you do? You rewrote memories. She made them forget. Damn memory manipulating witch. Give us back our memories. She made them forget. Eek. Stop. Don't take my memories. She made them forget. 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 And then, where am I? Who am I? She was made to forget her own memories that she didn't need. She was always like a lost child. She was never loved by anyone, and no one would take her hand. But she wasn't scared. She wasn't lonely. She wasn't sad. It was fine, since she forgot all about those things. That was the case until this point. And yet, I'm sure you're a nice girl. She met a strange boy. He was supposed to be her enemy, but he pat her head with his warm hand. He smiled kindly to her. He said nice things to her. He showed her a kind world. Surely none of this was a big deal for him, but for a girl that forgot about kindness and warmth, she was experiencing those things for the first time. Her world that was a blank page had color for the first time. Forgetting was her only salvation, but she felt she didn't want to forget. She should have forgotten about these feelings, but she remembered, and because of that, I'm scared. Memoria became weaker every time she thought of him. These newly remembered emotions were hurting her. If this was how she would feel, she figured it would be better if her heart remained forgotten. A doll is like a doll. A doll shouldn't have a heart to begin with. And also, even if she didn't want to forget that boy, she would never meet him again anyway. Even if she did, he surely resented her. Memoria hurt him. She destroyed the daily life that was so dear to him. She became a demon king that brought unhappiness to everyone. That kind look would never be directed towards Memoria again. And so, she figured she should forget his smile, his kind words, the feeling of his warm hand. Forget. She would become a white paper doll again. Then she wouldn't have to be scared again. But as she was thinking this, suddenly, the door to the hall was thrown open. Light poured in from in front of Memoria, and as she slowly opened her eyes and looked to the entrance, a white paper world. But in that spot, there was color. The boy was standing there. His body was in tatters, and half of his hair was painted white. But still, his eyes were directed straight to Memoria. Cradle's loud laughter stopped. This is a very joyous moment. Can you not get in its way, hero? Cradle's face twisted unpleasantly. Well then, I will ask you this before I make an example out of you. What did you come here to do? Kill the Demon King? Or will you tell me you're here to save the world? Isn't it obvious? The boy unsheathed his sword with shaky hands, and thrust it at Cradle. I'm here to save that girl. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Index. Chapter 65, Remember. I ran through the castle of memories, and reached the hall on the highest floor. There I find an angel with white wings moans in pain. The fourth Demon King. White paper angel lost memory. Memories scooped up from the capital are swirling around as they gather in that girl. The white paper wings grow bigger as she takes in more memories, becoming a larger demon king than the girl herself. Memoria. I say her name, but get no answer. I think she's gone completely berserk. But standing in front of her is Kufufu. You came here to save this demon king? Is this one of those I'll save her even if it means sacrificing the world kind of situation? How dramatic of you. Memoria's creator, Life Sage Crandall D-Star. His face looks pasty and patched together, like it's dead. These patches split as the corners of his mouth joyously rise until they reach close to the ears. But what is someone like you, about to draw your final breath, going to do? You look as though you can barely stand up, and you don't remember a lot anymore, do you? Do you even remember what you're trying to save? I want to say he's wrong, but Cradle is exactly right. My body is over its limit. The second trial was fighting Space-Time King Chronogate, and it was a very hard-fought battle. Bones all over my body are broken. My heart has been injured. I can't breathe properly because it hurts too much, and it feels like my consciousness is going to fly away with each step. But having that said, I can't afford to heal my wounds, and I ended up using my Demon King transformation card on that trial. Right now, I'm somehow maintaining an imperfect Demon King transformation. I can't withstand the power of the Demon King lost memory in this state, so every time I walk, memory pages fall from my body. You truly are a joyous being. To think you would even try to save a monster like this. It's precisely because you are that kind that you are unable to save anyone. Yes, probably. If two people hang from a cliff, would you save? If someone asked me, I would always say both without hesitation, but they would probably end up falling because I'm too weak. It was always like this in my previous life. Again and again and again and again and again and again. My hand could never reach anything. It's impossible to save someone without cutting down someone. I know that, but I can't ignore even one crying girl. That's why I couldn't save anyone. Wanting to save everyone is my fatal flaw. And I get weaker the more I want to protect. I know that better than anyone. But still, I won't give up anymore. I'll say it as many times as I have to. I look straight at Memoria, and swear I will save everything from here. If my outstretched hand can't reach anything, I just have to reach out as many times as necessary. Faster, stronger. I just have to reach out. From this point, I can still make it in time. That's why I came back to the past. I walked towards Memoria. I see, you're strong. I understand. To attain that much power, you must have worked harder than I can imagine. Wonderful. And that power you obtained after so much effort will be mine. The thought alone gives me uncontrollable chills. Cradle is trembling like he's intoxicated, and yells at Memoria. Now, Demon King lost memory. Show him your power. Take his memories and take me even higher. Memoria screams in anguish, and flaps her white paper wings. They flap and flap, spreading a very large amount of blank papers that attacks me. Those white pages suck up memories if I touch them, but I run towards this paper blizzard. Wow, are you suicidal? Says a shocked Cradle. Haste 7. 7th speed. I use an acceleration technique and clear away the incoming white pages with my sword, as I keep advancing through this gap in the paper blizzard I'm making. White pages do graze me, and take away some memories, but I continue pressing forward. If I go on the defensive like I did in the Tower of the Sorcerer Association, I'll just get stuck. I can probably only use my power as Demon King one more time. I'm struggling to maintain this Demon King transformation for the sake of that one time, so I have to make sure it finishes this bout. If I can get right next to Memoria, and pour time reversal magic into her, I'm sure I can undo her Demon King transformation. But if I fail, it's all over. The recoil of my Demon King transformation will leave me weakened and completely unable to resist Memoria's magic, and if I lose all my memories, I won't be able to fight anymore. No, don't come. Memoria presses her head and shakes it. Memoria has been doing a lot of bad things, hurting everyone. The white paper wings flap again and release even more memory pages. I advance through the white paper blizzard like I'm almost drowning. Memoria didn't ask to be saved. Memoria is a doll. Memoria forgot her heart, so it doesn't hurt. White pages keep grazing my body. I can't breathe, and my consciousness is going blank. So why are you so tattered? Memories keep getting peeled off. I feel like I'm about to forget why I'm even moving forward, like I'm about to forget the girl in front of me, but still, because you're crying. That's all the reason I need to fight. Even if I don't remember your name or your face, no matter how many times I forget, remember me from my previous life is screaming inside my heart. It's like suggestion, like a curse, like spitting out blood, and every time, I remember you. You're not a doll. Remember, you like ice cream. You like cheese. You like yogurt. You like marshmallow. You like hot milk. You don't like tomatoes. You don't like vegetable rice gruel. You don't like celery. You like apples, but it don't like apple peels. Remember, you like basking in the sun. You like the smell of old books. You hum when you're in a good mood. Remember, you like pretty flowers. You hate being alone. Remember, you smile when you're happy, and shed tears for other people. Remember, you're a regular, nice girl. I'll remember as many times as I have to. In my previous life, I couldn't save Memoria, but the effort I went through to do it wasn't a waste. I worked for close to 100 years to remember her. I kept a diary, left a lot of memos, and worked to improve my memory. But most important of all, I didn't give up trying to remember her. That's why I can remember you again and again, and why I can save you from here. Give up, Memoria lost memory. If you're going to forget your heart again and continue crying by yourself, I'll reject that future again and again. Idiot. As she watches me falling apart while still continuing to move forward, the face of the girl that's like a doll twists into a tearful smile for the first time. Large drops fall from her gem-like eyes. How can it be said that she's a doll? Memoria's always been lost, always dark, always cold. She speaks intermittently, like she's sobbing. Always lonely, always wanted to take someone's hand, always wanted to be saved. And then, she hesitantly reaches out to me. Help. I decided the answer to that 100 years in the future. Leave it to me. I toss my sword, and throw myself into the paper blizzard. I've forgotten how to swing a sword, but it's fine. I don't need a sword to take a girl's hand. Memoria. I reach out to her. I'm right in front of her, but memory pages cover her like a broken eggshell, and block my hand. Don't get in the way. I reach out again, to break the towering white paper wall, and reach the girl behind the paper blizzard. Memories are being rapidly sucked out of me. I forget who is in front of me, and why I'm stretching my arm, but I still do it. I keep reaching out even though I forgot. I go above the past, above memories, and beyond, and I finally grab that hand I couldn't that day. At that moment, I muster up all that's left of my Demon King power, and chant in my mind. Time. Turn back. Lightning is unleashed from my body, and the burden on my magic circuits makes blood come out of my mouth. The Demon King transformation is undone, and my body loses power very quickly. But still, I don't let go. Memoria. I pull my hand back from the white papers, and then, Memoria jumps out of it. She's not a Demon King anymore. She's just a girl. White pages captured by Memoria begin to peel off and fall. Her white paper garment, her white paper wings. It all dances in the wind, like it was all turned back into just being paper. The castle of memories is crumbling. Memory pages that formed its walls and ceiling start to rain down on the capital, and returning to their owners. And then, as if coloring this white paper world, the blue sky appears in front of us. Welcome back. Yes. Memoria nods, with her eyes still moist. We slowly turn around. Now all that's left is you, life. Sage Cradle D*. Cradle stands still, looking completely stunned. Join my Patreon to support me and read ahead. Chapter 66, Colored World. Now all that's left is you, life. Sage Cradle D*. The castle of memories is crumbling. Memoria and I slowly turn around, and see Cradle standing still, looking completely stunned. It can't be. The Demon King transformation was undone. That can't be. It's impossible. It's a Demon King, a being that surpassed magic and attained sorcery, and that power. Are you a Demon King too? There was no data about. Apparently Cradle had been formulating all sorts of strategies against me based on what he saw in memories of me. But of course, those memories of me were from when I fought those weak mages. It looks like you thought you knew me just because you saw some memories. But do you really think I used even 10% of what I have against those weaklings? What? Anyway, there's not much time. The castle of memories is still collapsing. It won't hold for much longer, so before it falls, I pick up my sword and thrust at Cradle. Let's begin. Life. Sage Cradle D*. I'll deny your future right here. Stay away. Cradle's composed expression from earlier is completely gone. and he shrinks back with clear panic on his face. There are no beasts under Cradle's control here in the castle of memories. With each step I take, Cradle takes one back, until... Cradle puts his foot in a hole of the collapsing castle, created as the pages that form the floor are sucked down to the surface. Eek! Cradle quickly grabs onto the edge, but, my memories? He's touching memory-eating white pages, and memory pages fall from his body. But if he lets go, his body is going to drop from the sky. Memoria, what are you doing? Didn't I tell you not to take my memories? Hurry up and save me, you dunce! Cradle screams orders, but, no. Memoria puffs her cheeks and turns away. It sounds like Cradle really wasn't expecting this, as he raises his voice in complete confusion. This is probably a first for him. The first time something he created turned her back on him. And while this is happening, Cradle's memories are still falling. What kind of joke is this? Who do you think made you? You're a doll that lives for me. That's not how you talk to a person when you want their help. That's a terrible attitude. Wow! Cradle yells in confusion again. There aren't any beasts under Cradle's control in this castle of memories. He didn't save anyone, protect anyone, and felt any love or friendship towards anyone. He only controlled others, and there is no one here to save him anymore. Why? The future I pictured should begin here. Everything should have worked. I completed a Demon King, had it under my control, and should have ruled the world. The world should be my toy. My name should be carved in history for eternity as the world's most evil monster. Yes, that's right. That future really should have become a reality. I looked down at Cradle with a cold look in my eyes. Your future wasn't just a small thing that could be easily averted. If I wasn't here, you would have continued to create Demon Kings, and lead the world to its ruin. Your research on Demon King cells would have continued to birth Demon Kings, and your name would have been carved in history forever as the mastermind behind the destruction of the world. But that future is done. And not yet. It's not over yet. Cradle takes out a syringe from the pocket of his long coat. That pale blue liquid. That syringe is filled with Demon King cells. You proved to me the effectiveness of Demon King cells. Yes. At this point, all I have to do is become a Demon King, and then I will destroy everything. He screams while injecting himself in the back of the neck. I don't stop him. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. This wonderful power. Cradle's body starts morphing. His flesh is shaved off, his bones become narrower and longer, and countless ribs grow out of his body like legs. Cradle has been transformed into a giant, sinister bone snake. Destroy. Chronogate. The bone snake raises his head, and lunges at me to rip me apart with his bone fangs. But I don't move. I'll predict your cause of death in these last moments you have. I slowly point at the bone snake. You will be destroyed by something you created. And just as I say that, the bone snake's fangs stop right in front of me. I didn't stop time or anything. The proof that I didn't is the cracks running through Cradle's bone body before it bursts. It can't be. What did you do? Chronogate. I didn't do anything. Don't lie. Why then? Why is my body crumbling? Isn't it obvious? You just don't have what it takes to become a Demon King. Cradle didn't burst as soon as he injected himself with Demon King cells, but his body still didn't adapt to them. Lies? Don't lie. Why could my doll turn into a Demon King if I can't? Are you saying that doll is above me? Yes. Exactly. It was like this in my previous life. Cradle was surpassed by the Demon Kings he brought to this world, so he took the Demon King cells he created, and destroyed himself. Cradle was a genius mage who created artificial Demon Kings, but ironically, he himself didn't have what it took to become one, even though the girl he looked down on as a doll did become a Demon King. I'm sure, no matter how many times you repeat your life, you will always be killed by something you created. That's the fate of someone who keeps playing with life. Damn it! Cradle screams as his body collapses. Damn you! Chronogate is the last thing Cradle yells before his body slips and falls from the castle. His crumbling body couldn't hang on to the castle, and as I look down at him being thrown into the air, I say, end. And with that, the bone snake's body turns to dust, and melts into the blue sky. It's a very disappointing end for a genius mage, but the main cause of the destruction in the future, the one who created Demon Kings, has been vanquished here. Cradle has been crushed, but Memoria and I don't have time to celebrate the defeat of the main cause of the destruction of the future. We need to escape the collapsing castle of memories quickly. I stop the time of memory pages, and make a slope all the way to the Tower of the Sorcerer Association. And then, we tumble our way down. That was awful. I struggle to get up, and smack dust off my body. My body is in tatters to begin with, and the recoil of the Demon King transformation left me weakened. I want to rest for a bit, but Memoria is looking at me, and while her face is expressionless as always, her eyes are shining. That was fun. Let's go again. I think that's enough for me. Really? Memoria might be more of a curious person than I thought. We look up at the sky and the castle of memories. It's not retaining its original shape anymore. It looks like we just barely made it out in time. Pages are spread all over, like they were blown by the wind, and the castle of memories falls apart completely like it's disintegrating in the sky. A blizzard of paper rains on the capital like the sky is falling, and the spring sun makes the memory pages shine as they return to their owners. Memoria lets out a sigh of amazement as we watch from the tower. It's so pretty. The clear blue sky, the vast green grassland, all the interweaving colors in the capital below and its people, the colorful flower fields from Almina that can be seen in the distance. The sight we see from here has more colors than we can count. Memoria forgot. The world has so many colors. Memoria reaches for the sky with a shine in her eyes. She sounds so innocent, like a child seeing the world for the first time. That's right. In my previous life, this is the future I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you all these colors. Color is drawn into the eyes of the white paper girl. There are probably as many things she's never seen as memories she doesn't have. I'm sure Memoria Lost Memories life is truly going to start now. This is a happy memory. Memoria won't forget anymore. Everything. This scenery of a new beginning is burned into her emerald eyes. She keeps watching it, never tiring. Thank you. You took Memoria's hand and showed this to Memoria. Eventually, she turns around and smiles as her teardrops sparkle. This isn't the face of a doll anymore, or white paper. I place my hand on her head. It's only just beginning. Your real life is just starting. You're going to be a lot happier from now on, and you're going to see more beautiful sights like this. Really? Yes. I'll look for memories that make you happy with you. And if you get lost again, I'll find you as many times as I have to. I hold out my hand to Memoria, so she doesn't stray away or get lost ever again. So let's go home together, Memoria. She blinks rapidly, and looks at both my face and my hand. Yes. She happily takes my hand, and smiles brightly under the blue sky. Join my Patreon to support me. Chapter 67, to me from 100 years ago. It's been 3 days since the castle of memories vanished, and I'm in the medical office of the Scarlet Mansion. I wasn't planning on staying here that long, but I really couldn't go home with bones all over my body cracking, so I had to stay here under their care. Healing quickly by my own power isn't going to happen, because the recoil of the Demon King transformation left me unable to use magic very well, so I have no choice but to rely on Elle's healing magic. But, geez Chrom, you're hurt. Why are you training with your sword? Elle puffs her cheeks and looks at me with sharp eyes. After I escape the medical office, why can't you stay put in bed? Geez, well, I can't take wasting time not doing anything. It's the nature of a time mage. How can you even move with cracked bones all over your body? I'm used to it I guess. Used to broken bones all over your body. What kind of grandiose life have you been living, big brother? Good grief, Chrom really can't not be rash. Lisbeth and Labrie say while staring at me. And then, I'm thrown back into the medical office again, and Elle and Labrie say at the same time. When you're feeling better. You need to explain what happened. I nod. They're mad because I went out to fight again without explaining what was going on. Also, About the fourth Demon King White Paper Angel Lost Memory and the Castle of Memories she created. Apparently all that settled into being a new urban legend of the capital. I'm thinking this didn't turn into a bigger case because the vast majority of people that lost their memories don't remember what happened. And most people that do remember the Castle of Memories after their memories returned to them, like Elle and Labyrinth, think it was all a collective hallucination. And so, even though there was some confusion, the royal capital inn returned to normal, as though nothing happened. And also, I retrieved the Demon King cells in the Tower of the Sorcerer Association. That should put some distance between us and the future where Demon Kings appear one after the other. I gave some to Nekoko, and asked her to track down the rest. Her cat-scythe sense of smell and information network should help us find the ones that were scattered to other towns. That takes care of everything. Now my job is just to take it easy and rest. I let out a big sigh while getting into bed. I've been so busy. I eliminated Chimera that spilled out of the dungeon, dealt with Memoria's night attack. That means I haven't been sleeping well. If I don't rest a bit, I won't be able to fight when I really have to. I keep that in mind as I close my eyes. Wake up, Mr. Crom. Something shakes me. I open my eyes, and see Memoria sitting on top of me. Sorting memories. Memoria needs help again. Why yes. I guess there's still something that needs to be done. I rub my sleepy eyes, and take a bundle of memory pages from Memoria. I guess these are memories Memoria took when she was Cradle's underling. There's a lot here. There's still this many? There's no end to this. But memories are important. We have to give them back to everyone. If you say so, I'll help. I smile awkwardly, and go along with her memory sorting. She said memories are important. That fact alone is a positive change. That's why I want to put in the effort to help her return them. There are a lot of memories that I have no idea who they belong to. It's tough. We groan as we sort memory pages in the medical office. Memories are obviously all from a first-person point of view, so there isn't a lot of information that tell us the owner's identity. It's going to take years to return all of these. Memoria doesn't respond. I look at her, wondering what's wrong. HN? What's that? I notice she's staring at a piece of paper. Is it a memory page? But unlike the others, it's folded like a letter. I peek at it, and Memoria quickly hides it behind her. Why are you hiding it? I try to peek again. DON_TPEEK. She's mad, and puffing her cheeks with her usual emotionless expression. Whose memory is that? What's written on it? It's a secret. Eh? This is Memoria's memory. You can't have it. Ah really? I don't really get it, but Memoria carefully puts this letter inside her own diary. To me, 100 years in the past. I'm hiding this message inside Mr. Crom's memories. If you're seeing this, it means Mr. Crom successfully went back to the past. Has he been eating well? Has he been sleeping well? He's not catching colds, is he? He's not working too hard by himself again, is he? He's not fighting until he's in tatters again, is he? Did I manage to make him forget about me? No, I know. Mr. Crom would never give up. He's a kind man, that's going to try to save everything. But Mr. Crom himself isn't included in that everything. So please save Mr. Crom. I will teach you the power to do so. Its name is Time Leap. This is the power to cross through time and save everything. The condition necessary to use this magic is that both me, meaning you, and Mr. Crom are both present. I'm sure you can use it now. Next time, please make sure to save Mr. Crom. Me. Thank you for reading this far. This arc is over, and we have caught up with the Roars. There hasn't been a new chapter in 5 months, but it's not the first time there was a big gap between chapters, so it most likely hasn't been cancelled or anything. New chapters will either be translated and posted as they come out, or there will be a schedule again if they come out regularly and pile up.